number 4?
Joey Miller.
That's Joey Miller in the number 12. Curb records number 12. Toyota. Oh, and he slaps the wall. That's just before the entrance to pit road. Caution comes out for the first time in Daytona.
On the outside, just sucked him around. Phil, we saw Eric Almirola do the same thing yesterday. And look, right here, he's got the gas wide open. Trying to keep it off the racetrack. Now he needs to get on the brakes. Right, he just tried to hook it around too long, and it just wound up hitting the wall. I don't know how much damage was done. It was a safer barrier. Pretty good shot to the wall, though. We saw cats bounce off the wall in Atlanta, though, and they just keep on going faster.
This real time. Again, upwards of 185 miles an hour.
Just left her on the mat a little bit longer than he should have.
He did a great job keeping that truck from going back up the racetrack into the outside. While you're seeing right now, he nails the throttle to keep it going forward. See, the wheel's still spinning right now. Now he just locks up the brakes. Just a hair too late.
You know, we talked yesterday in practice when Almirola spun out. Sometimes that just must be his motto. It's okay if you get crashed. Oh, no,
we got
look
a
at that
problem.
big
Boston
crash.
Reed, Mike Bliss, Bill Lester, Craig Kinzer trying to negotiate his way through. He's able to get through. That was Mike Bliss.
He says,
all right, Mike.
Doesn't look like Mike's truck's all that bad.
Well, a lot of damage to the right side. You can see the right rear wheel pretty plainly.
yeah, Bill Lester got quite a bit of damage in that accident also.
Mike's rolling again, so he'll try to get that thing to pit road. I wonder if Boss
Craig, there's the 25. We just got a little bit loose. We've seen it happen. He got loose. And then when he tried to save it, drove down off the bank, came back up right in front of Boston Reed. Boston Reed had absolutely nowhere to go.
Not a place, Phil. What a great job by Craig Kinzer in the 47 truck. Did you see him just chill out and slide through that mess? Not get any damage to that truck?
Kyle Krisloff doing the same thing in the number 15 just behind that 47 of Craig Kinzer.
He just got loose entering the corner when he came back up the racetrack right in front of Boston Reed.
Look at Kinzer. He bounces off the wall a little bit, but keeps his cool. Krisloff came in a little hot, but was able to get her woe down and dive under these cats. Mike just got loose underneath that other truck. We've seen it happen. It's what happened to Eric yesterday in practice.
There's another view of it. Just got a little bit loose. The transition, sometimes when you drive down the corner, you start turning and you don't catch all the bank right away, and it looked like that transition from the straightaway to the corner is where he lost the back end of that truck.
Right along with Dennis Setzer just behind this accident.
Watch, right, boy. Come on. All clear, all clear. Good
Fortune has come out here at Daytona. This is our third caution of the night. This is just one of the trucks involved in a big crash. It didn't start out that big. Craig Kinzer looked as though he was just getting up here.
There's Almirola.
Cuts down
tire.
the right front tire.
I'm sorry.
Craig Kinzer.
I'm sorry.
47.
How did this happen?
There's
Wow.
Mike Walsh. Remember, we saw him running in the top 3 positions. There's the 15 of Kyle Krisloff.
He gets out without too much damage. I just don't understand. What? Oh, Joey Miller, bad crash. Look at the front of that truck, Phil.
Matt Crafton gets caught up by Brad Keselowski. You see the 75 of Eric Almirola go by already with some damage.
Take another look at this accident.
Oh, wow. Something happened to Mike Wallace, and he was slowing down.
No, that was in reaction to what had happened to the,
He was just
47
slowing down
truck.
because of the 47.
Let's go to pit road.
Wow. The 75 truck.
Ray.
Jack coming hard here, coming outside.
Let us see, but he's going to lose so much
Rudiman
momentum.
just got punted into the wall by the 77 truck.
Brendan Gaughan getting pushed sideways down the tri-oval. That brings out our 4th caution.
We've got trucks flying down pit road.
But as long as they decrease their speed as they travel down pit road,
We could have won this thing.
Here. He just squeezed him up in the wall. David looked like he just didn't have quite enough room. Made contact with the right rear corner of the 77 truck of Brendan Gaughan. Turned him into the wall. David Rudiman's going to have some damage with the 17 truck. You see a lot of damage on the 77 Orleans Dodge. Well, look at this save by Jack Sprague. He got completely sideways, drove down off the bank, and straightened it out.
That all happening just before coming out of turn 4, and you see the truck slamming into the wall as they came out of 4.
That didn't have anything to do with watch.
Watch him out of for the track.
Well, Dennis Setzer went through the grass at about 170 miles an hour.
I don't think that had anything to do with Sprague getting sideways. It's just a result that David got up on. Todd would think his radio was messing up. He wouldn't be able to believe what he's hearing. He wants to win this race, and we're off for 2 laps of racing to see who can pull it off.
Mark Martin just in front of Todd Bodine, but will he be able to stay there? We've got Toyotas packed up behind top line. A problem at the start-finish line. Spinning around, Rick Crawford. Actually, Crawford not involved in that. It's Ron Hornaday in the 33.
Caution is out. Keep digging.
Caution has come back out again.
They only give us 1 shot at a green and white checker. I would think that means
Screen what takes place.
You can see that truck doesn't get going right off the bat, Rick, and it bunched everybody up. Usually about 5-6 trucks back from where there's a problem. Finally, they begin to stack up, and Ron Hornaday was just right there.
here's what Bobby Hamilton saw. Remember, Bobby was a lap down. He starts going. He sees a truck get turned in the wall. That's the 33 of Ron Hornaday. The chain reaction got all the way back to Ron Hornaday. He got into the truck in front of him and turned him in the wall.
So they must have deemed that he was okay.
Let's see if we can take a look back now at this restart. Remember the 20.
Oh, we got a spin.
That's Robert Richardson. We talked about him being up in front of the field on the restart, and now the caution comes out as he's spun coming out of turn 4.
He's going to run out of tires. This is your worst problem. That's not a bad thing. That means you didn't hit much.
You just got loose. This truck is obviously too loose. That's the second time Dennis Setzer had an oh-so-close call. Along with the 20 of John Wood, he spun right down between those two trucks. It's good heads-up driving by those drivers.
They're going to come with some more tires.
Riding along with Ted and the Team ASC.
Still there.
Toyota.
Still there, bumper.
Oh, just got loose and just got by Dennis Setzer.
Wow. Yellow is out. Yellow.
Watch this now.
If this one truck's hits him.
Still out there.
Oh.
Still out there. Clear. Good job. All clear.
It was closer than it looked.
Leaders close in. Ooh, go there.
Jack Sprague went right beside Aaron Crocker, got her loose. She makes her way to the infield, and that brings out our 4th caution of the night.
She got a little bit loose when Jack Sprague, the 60 truck, went around the outside of her.
And, that looked just like when Robert Richardson
Truck. She's already getting loose. She's wiggling right there. She stays off of Jack Sprague. And she almost saves this thing. Watch her. When it gets back straight, she lets off the brakes, but then the momentum brings it on around. She kept it down on the bottom of the racetrack, didn't slide back up. Here's another view right here.
Look at that truck close on her. Just sucked the air off the back of that spoiler.
Yeah, just pulls it back in right around. She did a great job, but she almost had that thing saved. But then the momentum swung the back end on around. She stayed on the apron of the racetrack. Just a one-truck incident.
We're going to see these lead trucks pit, Phil?
Well,
Closing in on the halfway point.
I believe they got a pit. What do you think?
They've run 25 laps since their last pit stop, but I think they have to come in and get fuel anyway because they're well over halfway of a fuel run.
Clear behind you.
Keep Barnwell, Aaron Crocker's spotter, telling her clear behind you, but she didn't have
one in the middle. Stacy
problems.
That's Eric Norris, the 07 Ringers truck. There's a 25 Boston Reed. He's got quite a bit of damage.
He unfortunately got tore up down at Daytona, and now here he is again with his truck tore up.
I think these 10 trucks. We're going to watch the 07. He got a little bit loose. He was on the outside of the 12 of Joey Miller. He got loose, chased his truck up the hill. Boston Reed, for the 2nd week in a row, came by with absolutely nowhere to go. Made some pretty significant contact with the 07. Another view, you see him, whoa, hard contact into the outside wall, the 25 of Boston Reed.
I mean, he was in the same position last week, did nothing wrong, and now his truck's wiped out.
Another view at speed. Several of these drivers did a great job. There's a 04 of Scott Lagasse Jr. getting by. There's Bobby Hamilton. Okay. Accident's going to be right up in front of him. Watch it. Bobby's on the brakes. Slow it down.
Stay low. Go high. Watch out from behind.
Ray, what's going on with Bobby?
Well, Crocker got the last Aaron's lucky dog. Aaron.
Wow. Mike Wallace got loose, and
there it is.
Kelly Sutton goes spinning around.
No caution yet.
We'll see if a caution comes out.
It does come out.
The best you can here.
And Mark Martin, Mike Bean,
Hey,
Jack
come on
Sprague.
up, back, babe. All yours.
Oh, problems. Mike Wallace in the 59 into the wall. The caution flag will come out. We did not receive the white flag. This means we will have a green-white checkered finish.
Wow, that was a hard hit by Mike. Second week in a row, he's had a bad crash.
He's able to make some more contact. Oh, wow.
He just had that thing just was slipping every which way, Phil, and he just couldn't quite get it headed back in the right direction.
Here's another view. That's from Bobby Hamilton. He got a little bit loose, tried to save it, overcorrected,
Good job, you missed it.
and the truck went right into the outside wall. Hard hit for Mike Wallace.
8th caution of the night comes out. Mike Wallace bringing this one home.
He should be in high gear. He got through the transmission cleanly. Let's see what he does in turns 1 and 2.
The field clean through the restart.
Right down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Wow. Great
You're pulling
corner
it,
by
baby.
Mark
Do
Martin.
it. 1.5 back. Good run off there, Bart.
That's what he wants to hear, Rick.
Mark Martin trying to lose the draft of the 2 trucks behind him, but here comes Todd Bodine and Ted Musgrave. They've closed the gap as they go through 3 and 4.
Todd's trying to get up on his back and get him loose. Didn't quite do it that
baby.
corner.
Come on.
Got one more time.
This time by the white
First
flag
three, bumper to
flies.
bumper.
Mark Martin 2 miles to go to have back-to-back victories in 06.
Don't forget teammates running second and third. The 30 of Todd Bodine, the 9 of Ted Musgrave. Let's see if Todd can drive up in the center of the corner.
A good run
Bumper.
through 2.
He's
Down the
loosening.
back
You're
stretch
starting
they
to gain
go.
on him, baby. Digging. You're pulling on him now. He's 1 back. You're pulling him 1.5 back.
That's spotter Bobby Hudson giving Mark all the information he needs.
Mark Martin with a truck and a half length between himself and Todd
1.5.
Bodine. Makes his way through 3 and 4. The left tires on the inside of the white line. As he comes out of 4, he will see the checkered flag and win the Racetickets.com 200 presented on speed by KFC.
What a terrific. Oh, we got trouble. Stacy Compton into the outside wall, coming down for the checker.
Wow. It's a hard crash there, Phil.
It sure was.
What happened?
Not quite sure. We'll have to take road. Let's take a look at what took place there as they came to the checkers.
It looked like he was perhaps going to voice some displeasure with someone.
Looks like he may have squeezed a truck into the outside wall. He was on the inside of a truck, and then that probably turned him head on into the wall, as you see.
That's just typical last lap stuff there. He didn't want to come off the gas, Phil, and I think his momentum carried him out into the other truck, turned himself right into the wall.
The guy they're not keeping up with, though, is Mark Martin as he continues to put trucks a lap down.
Got truck on the wall. Scott
Lagasse in that 04 looked as though he cut a tire, had sparks coming out as he couldn't keep it off the wall.
This is an opportune time, 30 laps into the race, Rick. We heard a little bit of concern about...
But a bit of a close call. Oh, and a lot big close call there. You see him lock up the right front tire. He slid that right front tire trying to avoid the 15 of Kyle Krisaloff.
He'll be wondering if that thing's going to start shaking on him here when they go back to grip.
In turn number 4, that's Joey Miller, the number 12, getting spun around into the wall.
Caught a glimpse of Mike Skinner, the 5 truck right by. A lot of damage on the 5 truck of Mike Skinner. You see that right there. There's Mike Skinner, the 5 Toyota.
Oh, he's on fire. He needs to get in the grass. Take the thing to the left, Mike. You can see Miller sideways. Watch him overcorrect it, Phil. Thing hooks back on him, gets it hard into the outside wall. Here comes Mike. He sees the 04 slowing down, but he just can't avoid him.
You could see the smoke, tire smoke from the 04. He was slowing down so fast, he'd locked the brakes up, so Mike Skinner was coming up on him such a high rate of speed, he was not able to avoid him. Good to see Mike Skinner out at pretty hard contact.
But keep your eye on the number 23 of Johnny Benson. Oh, and we've got problems. The 1 of Robert Richardson gets spun around.
Oh, no, don't come up the hill. There you go.
Now he stops before he gets back on the racetrack. And so our 3rd caution of the night comes out.
Tires, there's a place for you to go. Let's take a look at what happened to Robert Richardson. You see him, he was right on the bottom of the racetrack, just lost the back end.
Catches that inside wall there, right
Just a little bit of contact, but then held it, kept it from going back out on the racetrack.
Right along with Erin Crocker and her Betty Crocker Cheerios Dodge to the inside. Robert Richardson.
You're clear.
Robert just got loose, it looked like, and that will enable Chad Chapin to catch the Aaron's lucky dog another time. So
Third caution of the night. Robert Richardson getting spun around, pointing toward the inside wall. He's able to hold it off of the outside wall. Martin had to check up because Todd Bodine was able to get by him. Problems coming out of turn number 4. The smoke rolling. That is the 4 of Timothy Peters getting spun around. Fire coming out of the cowl of that truck.
That's going to set up, more than likely, a green-white checkered with Todd Bodine out front and Mark Martin right behind him.
Wow. Well, this is the second.
By the 30, and then he makes contact with Mark on the inside.
They all 4 hit something, and nobody crashed. All 4 of them ran into something off the turn, and no one crashed. Look at this. This is great video. Great job by our cameramen. Look at that.
Todd makes some pretty hard contact right there.
He is sideways. And again, don't forget, they're going 180 miles an hour.
You know, that's probably what cut Timothy Peters cut down that left rear tire, and that turned Timothy Peters around, turn 4, because that was the very next time through turn 4.
Golly, how many degrees?
Very strong on the inside of the track. Todd Bodine trying to figure out the strategy of how to keep Mark Martin behind him. A great start by Mark Martin. He goes to the inside as they go to turn number 1.
What a great start by Mark Martin.
He liked a foot, though, clearing him, Phil. Todd will rally back on the outside.
Both these drivers ran that corner, I guarantee you, wide open. Look at Johnny Benson in the 23.
Johnny's never won one of these races.
Johnny Benson looking for his first ever NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race. Mark Martin looking to make it 3 in a row to start off the 2006 season. Todd Bodine wants to get back into victory lane. On the outside, Todd Bodine goes across the start-finish line just a few feet in front of Mark Martin.
They're going to run it wide open again down here on old tires. Let's see if Mark doesn't get loose on the bottom. See if he wiggles.
Down the backstretch. It's Todd Bodine with the lead. Now Johnny Benson making the pass on the inside. He'll take away second from Mark Martin. He sets his sights on the 30, but the 30 has checked out.
He's got to spin behind him.
As they spin, it is going to be Todd Bodine going across the start-finish line, winning in 2006.
Big crash behind him.
You are the man!
Oh, look at this.
They're still crashing, Rick. I mean, even off 4 still.
They were slowing down. Truck stopped on the front stretch.
There's Steve.
Eric Almirola here. He's down on the inside of John Wood, and he just loses his truck. What a great run he was having, but he spins out, and watch what happens. Jack Sprague on new tires is charging, and he just got hung in the side and right into the wall he goes, and they just keep wrecking, Phil.
Yeah, there's a 08 Bobby Hamilton Jr. There's Ron Hornaday, bottom of your screen, got turned around by Rick Crawford. Here comes the 59 of Steve Park. He makes contact with the 08 of Bobby Jr. Here's another view of it. Watch Jack Sprague just gets clipped in the right rear corner, puts him hard into the outside wall.
What a job by Terry Cook. He dove to the bottom of the racetrack. Now, the reason why we don't have unofficial results is because they have Eric Almirola scored in 7th. He started that crash. He won't finish there. We don't have any idea from about 5th on back who's where.
We do know that Todd Bodine won the race. Mark Martin was 2nd. Johnny Benson 3rd.
Here we
John
right
Wood
along.
4th. Watch this, Bobby Hamilton. Watch this veteran move here. They're crashing all around him. There went Jack Sprague on the inside.
Listen. He has stuff bouncing off. Sound like he's in a war zone. Things bouncing off his truck. He might have thought Phil that Todd had hit him in the corner, and he said, "Okay, I'm going to hit you back."
It wasn't a situation where he was trying to get in behind Todd and misjudge it, because David Rudham in the 17 truck was right. Was black flag because he was not the 21. We have trouble in turn 2. Bobby East, the 21. The 15 truck did not make the commitment line. He came in after the commitment line, so he will run for Clint Boyer, that Jack Daniels Chevrolet. Bobby Dyer, Gene Christensen. You know they have to be awfully happy. Oh, got some trouble.
Big problems in turn 3 and 4.
That's a 08 of Butch Miller making one of his infrequent starts. The 04 of David Strimme making his first ever start.
Still, he doesn't have any water in it.
See if we can take a look at what happened. There's Dennis Setzer with 85 on the inside. Marcus Ambrose at 20 on the outside. Looked like Jack maybe hit the curb, bounced up into the 08 of Butch Miller. The 04 of David Strimme had nowhere to go. Steve Park, the Harris Trucking number 59, made a little bit of contact with the back of the 04.
Well, you could see Jack. He was up inside of Butch Miller and down on the apron. I guess Jack felt like he was far enough in there that he was going to go ahead down in the corner and see if Butch could hang on or not, and he wasn't able to.
Welcome back to Martinsville Speedway. We see Steve Park in the number 59 facing the wall. Has a lot of
to catch it right after the starts. He's already sideways, backs into the wall pretty hard, Michael.
Yeah, and there wasn't anyone around him, so it makes you wonder if maybe he had a braking problem getting into the corner. Maybe even got those back tires real high.
Austin Reed on the inside. Got a spinner.
Craig Kinzer, and that number 29 gets turned around.
No.
I think, Michael, since Clint Boyer stayed out on that most recent caution flag, I'd operate.
Caution flags breed caution flags. Here we see Craig Kinzer getting turned around.
He was sideways when he got to the corner. I think he overdrove that corner, locked the brakes up, as you mentioned, probably got the rear wheels hopping. It turned around before he even got down to the corner. Pretty lucky that he didn't get any more damage than he did.
He tried to drive into a bit of a box there, Phil. He probably realized once he committed to that box, there wasn't any room in it for him.
Aaron's lucky dog going to block running that he's run so far because Mark Martin won't run all the races.
That's right. Capo 9 block. Oh, we got spinner. Timothy Peters, a Ford truck. I just caught a glimpse of it.
He got loose off turn 4 and one of those tire down in 2 seconds. Already spun out, already had a flat right there.
Yeah, may have had some contact to cause that flat tire.
We see it's down.
Yeah, there's Eric Darnell, the wow Ford for Jack Roush, doing a nice job avoiding Timothy Peters.
Simply wow. I believe that's a cleaning.
It is like a degreaser, a cleaner. Absolutely.
Tire went flat, caused him to spin. We think maybe there was probably some bumping into the side of his truck and made the tire go flat.
It's amazing that he was right in the middle of so many trucks and nobody hit him after he spun out.
Tough drivers, but they're smart drivers.
Made a little contact with the side of Matt Crafton after he got sideways.
Jack Sprague in that Conway Transportation number 60 right behind this. And look, Jack Sprague had to slide in, actually got in a little contact with Ted Musgrave, broken radiator.
And the implications of this reach far and wide, Rick. This is going to take him out of that chance to be in the top 30 in points when we head to the next race. He got a little help there from Lester. Lester had driven down on the inside of him, and Boston just came over like he wasn't there. My experience tells me you better not do that.
Leaders are on pit road. Clint Boyer, David Ruderman, David Reagan, Mike Bliss, all on pit road. A couple trucks still stayed out. Krista, what's going on? Oh, we got a spinner over in turn 2.
Spin in turn 2, Aaron Crocker getting spun around in that Betty Crocker number 98 Dodge.
Let's get ready.
Phil, this is the 7th caution of the day coming out on lap 112. It's Aaron Crocker getting spun around in turn number 2. On speed, it's Dar in the 11 making the pass for 5th.
See, Rick Crawford realized that David started trouble.
Clint Boyer gets spun around, and we talked about him not wanting to come back in, but he may have to come in now because of tires.
Yeah, that may alter his strategy right there.
This is a case where no one worked with one another. Johnny Sauter tried to stay in the middle. Timothy Peters came on the inside, and Boyer tried to take the corner. There just wasn't any room left.
Yeah, Johnny Sauter couldn't drive to the inside because Timothy Peters was there. Unfortunately, Clint Boyer probably did not realize that. He didn't realize it was going to be 3 wide. He knew that if it was just side by side, that Johnny Sauter would drive down to the curb and he would have plenty of room. It didn't work out that way.
A lot of times what'll happen, Phil, your spotter will say you got one inside of you, and you'll say that's okay.
And on the move.
Got to spin in turn 2.
Oh, problems in turn 2. Craig Kinzer into the wall.
Timothy Peters just got on the inside of him, needed
that space.
Just needed to give that man right there 1 inch, and didn't elect to do so. Throws caution.
See if we can take another look at what happened here. See, there you go. There's Timothy Peters, the Ford truck on the inside. He really wasn't there. He should have given, as you mentioned, 1 inch or 2, and that's all that Craig Kinzer would have needed.
That just really makes you ill when people do that, because it's uncalled for. I think that when you look at something like that, NASCAR should put that truck in the penalty box and say, man, all you need to do is give him 1 inch. Why can't we do that? Let's take a few inches off your tail and see how you like it.
Bob Dillner.
Dennis Setzer finally coming down pit road with his number 85.
Back in again at the earliest opportunity, but now Terry Cook gets spun around in that number 10 Ford.
He was side by side with the 20 of Marcus Ambrose. You see all the trucks try to avoid him going inside and outside.
We're just 10 laps past the halfway point at lap 135.
Bump. Ambrose gets loose down on the inside, Phil, and when he corrected his truck, he bumped into Terry Cook and spun him out.
Certainly no intent there, but unfortunately Terry Cook gets the worst of it. Here's what Mark Martin saw. Watch right ahead of him. You see those trucks bump a little bit. You see Marcus get sideways.
Clear.
He had to chase his truck up the hill to corral it.
Good job.
And unfortunately, the 10 of Terry Cook went on. Here's Dennis Setzer, the Autism Now truck. He just saw a bunch of smoke there. He's going to say, I'm going to drive by Terry Cook on the inside and avoid him. Meanwhile, Johnny Benson is on pit road.
Battle for second position. Joey Miller just in front of Ted Musgrave. That's Joey Miller with the yellow stripe. Problems. Johnny Benson, Terry Cook, and the 20 of Marcus Ambrose.
A lot of damage to the 20petfinders.com truck of Marcus Ambrose.
Got a long cleanup ahead. He needs to shut that thing down and stop it.
Looks like Johnny in the 23, Johnny Benson, and the 10 of Terry Cook made a little contact. Johnny went around. Then look, Kerry Earnhardt ran in the back of Terry Cook.
It is so easy to spin out here, Phil. We talked about getting these things to head in the other direction. You can see Johnny and Terry just got together a little bit. Johnny goes spinning around. We talked about how hard it is to get these things to go the other way. You got to put them in such a bind to get them to do that one little bump, Bob, and you spin out. What damage was done to the right front fork?
Oh, here goes Timothy Peters.
Right in front of the whole pack. Mark Martin slips by.
Caution comes out. That's number 12, by the way. The record for cautions at Martinsville in the Truck Series, 15.
Oh, we'll get there.
On the inside of Matt Crafton, that's a battle for the third position. He loses that truck, runs up, bumps into Matt Crafton, cannot control it, turns around. Now the truck's going everywhere. Mike Bliss got a little damage. He made some contact with Aaron Crocker in the 98 truck. See if we can take another look at it. You see Timothy on the bottom. He's going to get a little bit loose, have to chase his truck up the hill, Michael.
You saw him dive in there way harder than he should have, Phil. He committed to go on the inside of the 88. He was in over his head from the beginning. Didn't have a prayer of making that corner.
Now, I think back to the first year we did this. Carl Edwards had the same problems on this racetrack. Going in a little hard, got into the curve, couldn't handle it, and got bumped into him.
This is Mark Martin.
Being in front of us.
Look here, Starr doesn't get a great start, Phil. Ted dives on the inside of him. Instead of David letting him go, he just decides he'll cut him off. And then Ted said, I ain't capped.
Blocked over turn number 4.
Greg Kinzer again having problems keeping the 29 Chevrolet pointed the right direction.
David Reagan, who was having such a great run, is involved also. You see him on the inside, the 50 truck.
Looked like the 50 got down on the inside of the 29 and caught it late, but it looked like maybe
hard left turn before he got to turn 3, made it onto pit road. So
I heard him say that it blew up. So
spin in turn 2.
Got trouble.
Eric Almirola in that Spears Manufacturing 75 Chevrolet getting spun around.
Boy, don't you know that David Starr is loving these caution flags. Every time outside, he and the 22 of Bill Lester make some contact.
Bill's been down on the inside of a couple people and felt like they should have given him the turn, but Eric disagreed, and therefore we're under our latest caution.
14 cautions have taken place at Martinsville. The Aaron's lucky dog goes to Kyle Krisloff again.
Puts him back on the lead lap. He's fought all day long, got back on the lead lap.
You're watching the NASCAR Craft and Truck Series on Speed.
Chance on spinning the 88 out.
What about Mike Bliss? Oh, we got him. David Rudy. We heard it.
Caution is out.
Yeah, I saw that coming. If Dennis just was faster than David, and it looked like a recipe for a guy that's in the top 5 in points.
Right with Dennis Setzer here. There's the 17th David Ruderman right in front of him. Here's Dennis. So he's right up underneath them almost. That was a previous corner. Let's see what happens when they get down in turn number 3 here. Dennis looks to the inside, just overdrove the corner, it looked like.
And then hit him twice and spun him out.
Come on. Caution's out, caution's out.
DW not happy about that.
And not restart this race. He made it. He's at the start-finish line. 1 lap to go.
White flag has come out. Under a half-mile to go for David Starr, looking for win number 4 in his career. Down the backstretch, he's got a 5-truck length over Ted Musgrave.
What a great run today by David Starr.
David Starr comes out of turn number 4, and he will win the Kroger 250.
Matt Crafton in third.
Tying his career best.
Brendan Gaughan in 6th. It's good to see these guys have good runs.
Ted Musgrave with a second.
Years at Gateway.
Very dominant performances for Ted Musgrave here, and it looks as though the caution has come out, and that is for Kelly Sutton in that 0-2.
You know, we've completed 29 laps right now. This caution will last a few laps. I wonder if NASCAR may consider it will be our next race in 2 or 3 weeks.
And you mentioned the Dodge also following this pack around. It's the Fastenal Dodge. Oh, and problems as they come down the front stretch. Kyle Krisloff involved in this one. He's on the inside of the field trying to pick their way through.
Not shooting. There's Mike Skinner. A lot of damage to that Toyota.
Hard hit there in the numbers.
There's Mike Skinner. Just as Ray mentioned, he thought he had a soft tire. Bounced into the outside wall and came off the wall and made hard contact with the 20 of Marcus Ambrose. They came along with absolutely nowhere to go. Marcus made some contact with Kyle Krisloff in the 15. Just a horrible break. It looked like Mike Skinner. He knew he had a soft tire. There it is. It went down right there. And when he bounced off the wall, look at the damage to the 20 and to the 15.
Thank goodness for softer barriers, because he hit that wall hard coming out of turn 4.
Well, he sure did. See the trucks trying to pick their way through this accident. Just about blocked the racetrack. It's a good shot from our speed camera right there. It's Marcus Ambrose right there in the 20 truck up against the outside wall.
Like a can opener, ripping the metal off of the side of that truck.
07 of course. A lot of damage to Eric's truck. That's gonna, yeah, first time he's gonna fail to complete all the laps this year. As we mentioned earlier, 2 top 10s and the other 2 races 11th, but not to see Bill on. Just drives down to the corner, runs in the back of Eric Darnell. That corner is so difficult to negotiate, because we talked about it earlier. You drive in this corner, use all the brakes you have. That's why we see when the trucks run side by side, the truck on the inside doesn't run in typically as hard. Watch Kerry Earnhardt, the 13 truck, as he comes in. Whoa. Who may have made some contact with another truck as he tried to avoid Bill Luster. But here's another view of it right here. Oh, that's why Kerry Earnhardt almost hit.
Oh, he hits
made
the
some
wall
contact
too.
with the outside wall. Yeah, he wasn't avoiding Bill Luster. He was in an accident of his own, unfortunately. Caution flag more than likely was already out when that happened. Tough break. Here we go. There's Bill Luster. He got in the corner. Looked like maybe a little bit hot, or maybe Eric Darnell backed off a little bit earlier than he had been. And doesn't take much. You're in the corner again as hard as you can drive in the corner.
Crocker gets turned around, I believe. She is spun around, and that was 77 of Brendan Gaughan. Those two making hard contact as they were getting into turn 1.
A lot of damage to the Czech's Dodge of Aaron Crocker. I was still talking about it when it happened, so it was about as quick as it could be.
See some debris there still in turn 1. We take a look. This is the tail end of it.
Craig Kinzer got a piece of that with the 46 Centrex Chevrolet. Tough break for Aaron. Trying to gain experience here. She was doing a good job. Here we see it. There's Brendan on the inside. Looks like Brendan didn't quite drive down to the bottom of the racetrack, and Aaron thought he was going to take the normal groove down to the bottom. They made a little contact, entering the corner. Again, that's a very vulnerable spot right there. You enter that corner so hard, on the brakes so hard. She slid up into the outside wall.
They may get rained in Talladega as well, and so I'm sure nobody around him wants to do it. Oh, we've got a problem. Spinning, that is
David Reagan.
Number 6 of David Reagan. Boy, unfortunate.
Yeah, David was running in the 13th position, having a pretty good outing. A lot of damage to the front of that Scott's Ford. On the outside right there, he comes down. Looks like he's going to make some contact with the 11 of David Starr. Again, it doesn't take much, as we saw the last time, the most recent caution flag. It doesn't take a whole lot.
Hey guys, just real quick.
Flag, and he stayed there. He's got a great truck, and he's doing a terrific job.
Here comes Johnny Benson, 23, that red 23. Just in front. Oh, we got another spinner. That's Steve Park spinning around again.
Steve's going to keep it out of the outside wall. We're staying up. Caution flag out. I thought we were going to stay green for a moment.
He was able to get it spun around and pointed position. That will bring out our 13th caution.
They had a good battle going. Rick Crawford and Jack Sprague. I don't know if there was any contact. A lot of damage to the right side of Rick's truck. He made some pretty hard contact with the outside wall. Jack clears him going down in the corner. Let's see if Rick cuts a tire down or something. Cuts a tire down. Cuts a right front tire down. Had nothing to do with Jack Sprague passing him. Just a tough break for Rick Crawford.
Krista.
Yeah, guys, the 14 is going to be coming in. That is such tough luck for Rick Crawford. He had such a good truck. Of course, Jack Sprague, another good truck here. Jack Sprague has one here in the past. Rick Crawford has not. Of course, Todd Bodine and Ted Musgrave, the ones.
Mike Bliss up into the top 10. What a great run for Scott Lagasse Jr. in 10th. You know, in just what, his third truck, or his second or third Truck Series race ever, and first time ever here at St. Louis. Good job.
Great run for Scott Lagasse Jr. The white flag has come out. Less than a half a lap. Todd Bodine, Ted Musgrave. Ted Musgrave called this earlier. He said, I'd love to see a first-second finish. We have problems on the backstretch. If the caution flag flies, that will end the race.
Scott Lagasse Jr.
We just talked about him.
Horrible. No caution flag.
No caution flag flies. The checkered flies. Todd Bodine wins the Dodge Dealers Ram Tough 200.
Oh, we got a spin at 4. Is that Todd Bodine? Big wreck.
Not Todd Bodine.
There's Jack Sprague in the front right here. There's Jack right there.
Team Australia. That is Marcus Ambrose, I believe, in the 20 that got spun initially, but we see Jack Sprague turned around on the front stretch.
Yeah, I was watching that yellow truck there of Marcus Ambrose, and he was right.
There the tire goes.
Wow.
Look at the damage to that truck.
Yeah, we actually blew a tire, but just did more of our damage down there in 1 and 2. We got some quarter panel damage.
The 16 of Mike Bliss is on pit road.
This is riding along with Ted Musgrave. This is what brought out our caution.
There goes the 20. He just spins around.
Completely by himself. Just lost it. He's already around. It looks like maybe the 16 of Mike Bliss probably ran in the back of the 60 of Jack Sprague. And you see Mike Bliss make a little contact with the outside wall. That's what turned around Jack Sprague.
He ran in the back of Jack and then into the wall, Phil. That truck's damaged pretty good.
The white truck right behind him also made some contact with the outside wall.
The other Germain Racing team, Todd Bodine, we ride along with him.
He's going to see some smoke from Marcus Ambrose. You see him, he's out of the throttle.
Clear low, inside. It's open. Outside's open. Outside. Come on.
Ray is with Mike Bliss.
Well, I'm in his pits, Rick, and they do have damage to the right front of that IWX Chevrolet.
Sutton spinning, bringing out our third caution of the night.
This will get everybody in their window. They will be able to stop on this caution flag, make it the rest of the truck got loose. She lost air off the spoiler. It might have been Joey Miller in the 12 truck. She did a good job maintaining control and getting it down on the apron and keeping it straight.
She's living dangerously today, Phil. That was the second time she spun out at Charlotte and didn't hit anything. You don't see that every day.
And pretty much the same spot.
She finally let off the brakes and her wheels were cut hard to the right. And then the truck ran his fastest lap of the race, that last lap.
Ted's got him some fresh air on the nose of that.
Oh, problems coming out of turn number 4. That's Jack Sprague spinning again. He's going to come out in front of the field.
Oh, Boston.
Oh, very close. Boston Reed.
Clear right there, clear.
Making it by.
Dinner blow it up some.
Wow. Jack Sprague got loose coming out of 4. Wasn't able to keep it on the inside of the track. Slid back up. Right.
Yeah,
he was up in the outside wall on 3
hard.
and 4. He was actually behind Jack Sprague. See, that's Johnny Chapman right there. You see he's already got the damage. He's already made contact with the outside wall. And right in front of all that, you see Jack Sprague spinning right through the middle of that bunch. Good job by Boston Reed. 2 months ago, Boston Reed would have ran right into Jack Sprague. You see, Mike Skinner is, in fact, on pit road. Jack Sprague obviously did know something went wrong with with Mike Skinner. Ray?
Well, what's going on is
we're down to about 20 laps to go. You don't want to be blocking anybody too aggressively with 20 laps to go, Phil. They'll move you over.
Problems, caution coming out. It looks like Scott Lagasse Jr. finally expiring that number 04 Dodge.
I think he's made some more contact with the outside wall. There's a lot more damage now. You can see the right front
margin of victory ever at Lowe's Motor Speedway. Only 3 races run before, but man, what a performance Kyle Busch has put on tonight, as he has 3 seconds between himself and Terry Cook with just 1 lap remaining.
All he's got to do is make it back, Rick, and it's his.
Easy, easy, easy.
Yeah, Spotter telling him to be easy, be easy. You got a big lead. He's going to clear both those trucks by the time he gets to turn number 3.
Through 3 and out of 4, here comes the 51 of Kyle "Rowdy" Busch, winning at Lowe's.
Hell yeah, boys, that's it. Woo-hoo-hoo! Scored them today.
That's for sure. They did. Always have to look at Dennis Setzer as one of the threats to win.
Slow truck, though. We've got Johnny Benson, and right behind him, Craig Kinzer gets spun around because he couldn't tell that Johnny Benson had slowed. He slams on the brakes, and he gets into the wall in turn 1.
Yeah, it looked to me like, Rick, something happened to Johnny's truck in turns 3 and 4.
Rick, let's take a look back at what happened here. You see Johnny slowing way slow there on the outside of the racetrack. Craig Kinzer came in there. He saw Johnny. Looked like he locked the brakes up, Jimmy, and slid the rear tires, and that turned him around.
Yeah, what I blame this on here, Phil, is the spotter. This kid's a rookie. He needed to warn the driver that, hey, we have a problem up here with the 23 truck, and he did not do that, I believe, and I think that's what caused this guy to spin out.
So coming off pit road.
Kind of cautions that we expect to have 250 laps. I mean, that's 110 or 15 miles. That's unheard of in a Craftsman truck.
And Phil, normally they get anywhere from, oh, we got a caution coming back out. Our second caution now.
Might have been a problem with the 21 truck of Bobby East. He was slow on the backstretch.
Well, the blessing was that, you know, from the 07 once again, Aaron there. He got turned. Somebody tried to get up underneath him. He was already 3 wide. Looks like a black truck, number 15.
Kyle Krisseloff there. Looked like they made a little contact, but you're going to see a lot of contact here. Rick, as you mentioned in the rookie meeting, Wayne Auten, the series director, said you're going to be hit. You're going to do some hitting. You better get used to it.
Yeah, that's just short track racing.
No damage there, guys. So I think he's going to be fine right there. You know, he didn't hit anything. New tires and fuel.
Second caution comes out. Mansfield top.
He made any contact with the inside or the outside wall.
Tough position too. Kelly Sutton came and spun around and had driver's side door right there facing the drivers as they were coming out of turn 4. So a tough situation.
Now, you know, and the big thing up caution here, the 07 spins out in turn 4.
Robert Turner in the 07 got spun around, and now the field will try to go around him.
I think we're going to
not prevail there.
Got a spin right behind them. The 40 truck right there, that's Ryan Moore making his first ever Craftsman Truck Series start.
6th caution of the day comes out again. The 2 races that have run here previously, 13 cautions.
I'm going to give credit here. He gets underneath Aaron going down the back straightaway, gets down on the inside, starts to lose his truck, Phil, like you had said. He did not mean to hit her.
Not at all. He had to chase his truck up the hill, and when he did, he made some contact.
And, you know, naturally the thing is that she's okay.
He didn't mean to hit Aaron.
Really nice and straight. He's looking real strong right now.
He sure is. As you mentioned.
Caution here in turn 4.
Trouble, Mike Greenwell.
Oh, no. Okay.
Whoa, good.
My goodness, I thought the 07 was going to hit the 08.
We're going to see a lot of cycling of tires here right now because the caution has come out once again. That's 11. The 11th caution coming out for the 07. Robert Turner. See a lot of damage to the front left of that truck.
The 02 of Kelly Sutton, the Team Copaxson Chevrolet, was also. You know, Ron Horn.
Another spin.
Problems. That's Eric Almiroli slides into the inside
Hits
wall.
the ball hard.
Yeah,
that truck will be done for the day.
Yeah, that truck hit really hard. You know, we see that a lot coming off these corners. The trucks get a little loose, a little.
What caused this? You see him coming off turn number 4. He's on the inside right now. It looks like he slid up into the 5 of Mike Skinner. Looked like he lost the front end a little bit, Jimmy, and slid up into Mike Skinner, and it did. It just turned his nose towards the inside, and around he went.
Yeah, you know what he did, what it looks like he did here. We'll see it real here, entering turn 3 and 4. This is in Bobby Jr.'s view. As he's coming off the corner, he bumps Skinner with his right front, Phil, and just loses control of his truck. Just a deal where probably trying to be a little too quick on the throttle or whatever, and ends up costing him the day.
So they work on the 75 Spears Manufacturing Chevrolet of Eric Almirola. We'll cut away for a quick break.
Yellow is out here, Phil. Let's see what happened on the racetrack. We'll get back to David Starr.
Chad McCumbee in the 06, as we're hearing, has brought out this most recent caution. This coming out on lap 180, so 70 laps of racing remain. 13 caught.
Able to get Bobby Jr.
There it is.
Been following Boston.
There it is. I hate to interrupt you, but I saw that coming.
Yeah. Bobby East hard into the wall in turns 3.
I'm sure we have film of this.
Yeah.
This
Did he get dumped?
He learned a lesson. He learned a valuable lesson right here. Mike Skinner was running his groove.
I think there's.
No, that was the actual thing.
That was the wreck right there.
Well,
yeah.
you know, also the guy moved up on Mike. In Mike's defense, I mean,
He really did. That wasn't a situation where it was a payback. He moved up on Mike Skinner.
But he did slam into Mike earlier in 3 and 4, and Mike, he just moved over on Mike. I don't blame Mike for, hey man, I'm holding my ground here. The guy has to realize these guys race hard in this truck series. This is what I love about the truck series. We race hard.
And Crocker in the 15 of Kyle Kristoloff makes some serious contact, gets straightened out.
She's able to keep going. It's only a
trouble in turn 1 and 2 with Bill Lester getting spun around.
Lester spinning, that brings out caution 15.
What's that record?
Well, that's 16, and we said it earlier
It's
at
gone.
Martinsville.
Yeah, you can pause this most recent caution flag. You see he's on the inside of another truck and looked like he just was down on the flat down there, Jimmy, where you don't get that much bite. Tried to use that throttle. Unfortunately, the back end got out from under him.
Yeah, unloaded the front end is what you're right, Phil. Looks like it got down on the flat. When you do that, the sway bar unloads, puts a bind in the truck.
Start each time by. Oh, and problems in turn 4. It's Bill Lester getting spun around as the leaders come into turn 4. Bill Lester was up there up against the wall. That is trying to get positions, and the caution has come out again. Aaron Crocker turns in 3 and 4. That will bring out our record-setting 17th caution. Closing in on the...
But Mike Bliss looks like he's trying to get up there anyway.
Trying it again.
You got to keep trying. That's the groove. Up there's the
problem.
5
Skinner
spot.
gets spun around because Todd Bodine got into the side of him.
Got into the side of him. The thing is here, guys, I think we'll have a good replay. I know we've got the greatest cameraman there is. This looks like the 9.
We've got another caution, and you're right. We do have the best cameraman, Jim.
There it is there. The 5 truck was trying to clear the Scott's truck. Oh, by the way, I do use Scott's lawn care service.
Good.
But here's another great look from our camera crew. What we're seeing here is they're coming off the corner. The 99 gets a little loose. Skinner tries to go below him. Todd's already there. Just a typical running out of room on the short track.
Just going for the same spot at the same time. Mike Skinner saw an opportunity to get by maybe the 99 of Eric Darnell, who was seized up while he was racing with Rick Crawford. Turned down Hornaday's been in victory lane.
This time by, the white flag will fly for Ron Hornaday. Jack Sprague, David Starr fighting for second.
This is an awesome race. No way, unless Hornaday breaks, is he going to lose. Close to it. Oh my goodness, we're going to have it here.
We're going to have a spin on the front stretch, but it will be too late. The checkered flag will fly. Ron Hornaday wins in Mansfield.
I got all confused there. It was so exciting at the end, but what a great job.
Call in the mail. The last few laps, he was the only one running sub-25 lap times. He's dropped back a little bit, but he has moved up consistently. Remember, he started 17th. He's all the way up to 11th. Caution on the track.
Scott Lagasse Jr., the 04, one of Bobby Hamilton's truck, has made some contact. As you see, he probably got in trouble off the corner, and he's going to end up, like you said, the 04, already sideways. That's off of turn number 2 there. You see the self-cleaning banks. You see all the black marks go towards the inside wall. He makes some contact. And as you mentioned about the water there, that's water that was collected there on the inside of the racetrack from the earlier rain we had.
That's about as easy. Ooh, he's on the inside of another truck and had to pinch it down and just lost the truck.
He was on the inside of the 06 of Chad McCumbee. Lost air off the rear spoiler. We see that happen so many times. Went out of your screen. Oh, trouble.
Oh!
Problems right past on the backstretch, right underneath the tower that they just went under. That's Craig Kinzer.
That can't come into your living room if you're sitting at home. I bet you had to jump up off the couch. He was coming right into your house.
It scared me a little bit.
Lucky not to get into the wall.
See if we can take a look at it. See him coming off turn number 2. He just got a little bit wide, got a little bit sideways. I know that white truck right there says thank you for going back to the inside. Looked like the 07 right there.
Look out, Turtle. That's our cameraman right here. And it is coming right at him.
Wow. Just barely makes a little contact right underneath him.
I bet you Turtle went into his shell.
A little bit of...
They always wait for that first run.
Oh, we got trouble in the front straightaway.
That's Kelly Sutton sliding across the start-finish line, hit the front of that truck hard.
Guess who the lucky dog is?
The lucky dog is going to be Kyle Busch.
Going to be Kyle Busch. Going to be right back in this thing.
And
Kelly.
Kyle Busch riding along with him. Take a look at what Dennis James sees. Look at him turn around. He's got his head turned. Uh-oh, wait a second. He turns back around. Whoa! That truck just went flying by. We're being told NASCAR was having him look for debris down in the turn 1 area. And all while that was taking place, Kelly Sutton.
And this will be another one of the racetracks like California that Mark Martin has won in all 3 of the major divisions of NASCAR. Nextel Cup, Busch Series, and Truck Series. He did it again.
Mark Martin in the Scots, number 6'4", works his way down the backstretch. Carl Edwards, his closest competitor, 3.5 seconds back. Mark Martin works through 3 and 4. He's won 4 times in the Cup Series at this track. Once in the Busch Series, and now Mark Martin wins in the Truck Series at Dover.
I didn't really run it there with that piece.
Race for third, 4th, 5th.
Rudeman lost 2 spots on the last lap. Those guys just got him pitched.
22 laps into this race, and our first caution has come out. It's Eric Darnell. Look at the damage to that. Looks like he got a little bit of damage to the right rear. Oh, and look at the left side of that truck as well.
Yeah, it looks like that truck spun around and made contact with the outside wall, driver's side. What happened here? You see Eric, he's on the bottom of the racetrack, on the bottom of another track. You see him wiggle, he got loose on the bottom of the racetrack there. Ooh, Dennis Setzer just narrowly avoided him, but we see that happen so many times when a truck's on the inside of another truck. As you can see, he's already made contact here. As he slides down the racetrack, there's going to be some evasive measures by a lot of these trucks to get there. There's David Starr, the 11 truck on the outside. There's the 13. You right in front of the screen, you saw the 75 make a little bit of contact with the outside wall. Now when he drives down in turn number 3, he probably did some damage to his right front tire. The truck went straight.
La 3e de la course aujourd'hui. Les leaders en profitent donc pour...
Does not get it refired. That will bring the caution out, and the caution is out.
Sure enough, caution comes out, and so our 4th caution of the night coming out. Lap 54. Kelly Sutton not getting
a little shot there that more than likely was from Craig Kinser's number 46 Centrex Chevrolet because of the fact that he's having to repair damage to the front of his truck. This is Bobby Jr.'s Fastenal Dodge right there. There's the 46 of Craig Kinser. You can see the damage to the front end of his truck. So just a chain.
On va revoir ce qui s'est passé. Alors, Pierre Earhart, il est là-haut. Voilà. En train de brosser le muret.
Problème de frein, je crois.
Dans le virage numéro 3.
Alors lui, c'est assez ironique parce que lui aussi attendait un...
Todd's in second. 7 laps of racing to go. Skinner out in front of him by 4 seconds.
Todd is not going to have...
Oh, problem. Here's that caution that Todd Bodine was looking for.
It's the 6th right there. We're going to have... wow, what kind of drama are we going to have here? Todd Bodine will pull up right to the back bumper of Mike Skinner with 4 fresher tires.
Now, can he make it on fuel?
To beat Todd Bodine. You see right there a battle. That was Jack Sprague trying to go by Kyle Crystal off the 15 truck. He got loose down in the bottom. Looks like he kept that truck out of the wall, but unfortunately for him, he's going to lose some positions, and unfortunately for Mike Skinner, he's going to lose a 4-second lead he had on Todd Bodine.
Unbelievable. I'm guessing there's quite a bit of disappointment in that team.
There's another view right there. You saw him on the inside. He just lost the back end. We see that happen so many times. There's Timothy Peters. You see the smoke right up in front of him. He gets the message to slow down. You see the caution lights right up against on the racetrack against the wall. One of the innovations here at Texas Motor Speedway. A good job by Eddie Gossage and his crew.
Running along with Bobby Hamilton Jr.
We talked about the dejection, Rick, in the pits of Mike Skinner. Let's see if we can look and see what the look was on their face when that caution came out. That's Angie Skinner right there. That's
it. 4. Oh, a little bit loose. David Reagan tries to catch the truck. Here comes Dennis Setzer making the pass. He'll get by him. Side by side for the lead. Bodine on the outside. Skinner on the inside.
He said he didn't know if he could do it on the outside, and he drove by him.
There he goes. Todd Bodine out in front of Mike Skinner. This is the final lap. They've taken the white flag. Down the backstretch they go. It's Todd Bodine in front of Mike Skinner.
What a great power move by Tabo down on the outside. Remember, he was a lap down in this race.
Here comes Mike Skinner. Don't count him out as they come out of 4. Skinner on the inside. Bodine on the outside. Bodine closes the door, and Bodine wins for the 3rd time in Texas.
What a great...
Terry Cook got in behind Mark Martin, shoved him forward.
There's a battle for 3rd.
Trouble down here, guys, on front straightaway.
Coming out of turn number 4, Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the fast and all dodge gets turned around. He better hold on. Getting awful close to that inside wall.
Wow. Decided he better start driving, didn't he, Darryl? He's heading toward that wall. He's going backwards. It probably took him a second or two to figure out which way to turn the wheel, what to do, but he got that thing off the wall. So.
He's looking right there. He come across the nose of
the 50.
The 50 truck. Yeah, he just kind of, that's what I was talking about. You almost like put a slide job on a guy when you're trying to get in front of him, and you just hope that he'll let you in.
Yeah, and David Reagan's in the 50, and he didn't do anything wrong.
No.
Bobby aggressively went after David Reagan, and David just held his line. Bobby's got a good truck here. You can see he's up under Kinder, making progress on his teammate. There's David Reagan in the 50. Now watch this.
See, he knew he was going to make contact. He tried to feather up out of the throttle to keep it from pushing on up, but he couldn't stop it.
He was thinking, I'm going to be requiring part of your space, David. I'll be coming over now. Please allow me.
Good job.
The spotter letting him know, good job. They didn't hit the wall. Just
burning.
And Rick, that's your 8th man. The thing about these trucks, I can't tell you. I've driven them a number of times. They will burn you up, and we got a problem here with Eric Amarolo's truck here,
Speaking
75.
of burning up, we've got smoke coming out of the Spears Manufacturing Chevrolet.
Come on.
Hey, what's going on, bud?
Guys, he had just come.
Yeah, here he goes up the hill. You see the smoke and dust flying up under that thing, and he bumps that safer barrier.
That stuff's forgiving, isn't it?
Last week, that deal with Jeff Gordon, I'm telling you, I held my breath. Ted kind of comes to the bottom. 15 says, hey, dude, I'm down here.
Look at the 15. He had to get his stuff straightened up as well to keep from spinning.
All that smoke coming off the tires are not good for the tires, and then he drives it off. That's really where he did the most damage.
That's how he tore up his valence, but it's just because he's still trying to save it.
Sometimes battling with Mark Martin. Now as they come out of the corner.
Oh, we got trouble in turn 4. Oh, a hard crash.
I think it's the
Timothy Peters.
04 truck, one of Bobby's trucks.
That thing hooked on him, Darryl. He got sideways and rode it out for about a second too long. If he had cranked it to the left, don't cut down. Watch what happens here, Rick. He gets a sideways. Timothy Peter gets a sideways right there, and he's hanging on to it. He's hanging on to it. Then the air from the 16 goes by, and he just held it to the right too long, Darryl. He should have, at that point, when you save one that long, it's probably about time to say, I think I'll just turn it to the left here and lock her down. And he didn't do that, and he tore up his truck.
When it rolls back over on that left front spring, that's the soft spring in the left front. It just unloads everything and shoots it dead right.
Remember, to put into perspective here, going through the corners, they're still going 170 plus miles an hour.
Well, Todd has been working the bottom, and he's been going into the corners really hard underneath people. He needed room to slide up in front of Brendan over there, and he didn't quite have it, but he took it anyway.
Which is rude. Watch this in real slow.
I mean, Brendan gave him every inch he could. Brendan was all the way out of touching the wall. Todd just kept coming.
Does that tell you how
high behind the 77?
There it is, right here. Look this.
He just went inside.
Just come inside.
Brendan actually got in the wall.
Yeah,
before Todd
three
got
wide. You're up top.
It was because he was trying to give him all the room he could without him getting in.
Martin Truex Jr., the 51, and then Kerry Earnhardt gets into him as the number 13.
A green-white checkered.
Can you believe it?
I knew it would happen. I just knew it.
A green-white checkered. I don't know. I just wish.
Look at what Mike B.
But did you said this was inevitable? There was no way. Oh, he blows the left rear tire.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that didn't. There's the group that I thought that was all going to happen in. Looks like something happened to one of the tires on the 51 truck.
I'd say it was the left rear the way it looked.
Let's see here, Mikey. There he comes.
Yeah, you're right. Left rear is
Oh,
it gets worse.
Oh. Nothing any worse than getting hit by a number 13 truck.
That's bad luck.
That's bad luck.
That's the opposite of the Aaron's lucky dog.
Yes, that is bad luck. See Mark Martin's crew in the air. It's Johnny Benson in front of Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte, and Todd Bodine.
Can he make it back at the lead?
I like what Johnny Benson's doing. He just got to do it 4 more times. He's down into 1. Got a great run down into turn 1.
A mile and a half left. Johnny Benson in front of Mark Martin. He's got a great run going down the backstretch. 2 truck length. But here comes Mark Martin closing the gap.
1.5 back.
Here he comes. He's going to look to the outside right here. Johnny needs to get back to the gas. Don't push up. Johnny Benson's got this race won, boys.
Johnny Benson comes out of turn number 4.
He did it.
Mark Martin behind him. It is going to be Johnny Benson winning the Conway Freight 200.
And a drag race back here for 5th and 6th.
Johnny Benson, welcome to victory lane.
Corbin trying to get these trucks right down to the bottom of the racetrack as we watch the 51 of Johnny Sauter. There's the 17 of David Rubin. Trouble.
Here comes the caution flag. We've got a caution just coming out of turn number 4. It was Bobby Hamilton Jr. in that Fastenal Dodge that looked as though he got spun around.
Yeah, we were watching David Rudiman and coming off turn number 4 right here. Looked like he just got in the throttle and spun the wheels a little bit, Kenny, and around it went.
That's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And I'll tell you why. Because it just sounded like the truck just lit up. I mean, he come off the pit road that, and are you okay, buddy? And he's going, hold on here. Let me get going.
I'll let you know in a minute.
Yeah. Oh!
Trouble. Problems on the backstretch.
Oh!
Looks like the 13 of Kerry Earnhardt.
Boy, a couple guys did a terrific job getting by him. He spun right off the corner, right in front of a lot of the field there, and a couple guys did some great work to take a look at what happened to Kerry. Watch the middle. He had a little contact right there. It might have been David Starr, but look at all these trucks go every which way.
Oh!
Wow.
But what a great job by Steve Park on the outside. I can't watch them all. The 4 wide, Kenny.
Now I know why you were going, ooh, oh, wow.
Wow, Steve Park, man, what a great driver. I mean, let's watch it again here. Look to the right of your screen.
See Brendan duck to the inside, and a lot of trucks. Wow, how about that white truck right in the middle? I'm not sure. Was that maybe Eric Darnell did a great job avoiding him on the inside.
Right along with Bobby Jr., see what he saw.
There's Rick Crawford, the 14 truck on the inside. Whoa, you saw Steve Park lock the brakes up for just a minute, just barely avoided Kerry Earnhardt.
And you know, one thing I learned from Kenny Schrader years ago, Bobby Hamilton Jr. 4 brakes, because this is when you need them.
Whoa, it's right there. We were on board with the 11, watching the 11 of David Starr. We saw him get a little bit loose, got kicked out into Matt Crafton.
The 75 of Eric Almirola made some contact with the 11 of David Starr, and that turned him into the 88 of Matt Crafton. Look at that. Almirola dive to the inside. You see him right there, makes it 3 wide. And as they drive down the corner, he makes some contact and gets the 11 of David Starr wiggling, and then he hits the 88, turns him around right at the worst possible spot, entering the corner. He makes some pretty hard contact with a new safer barrier.
So those 3 trucks, I'm going to check to see if they've got any extensive damage like the 88 has. David Starr.
Well, he's got the lead right now, and he should have enough fuel to go the rest of the way.
Joey Miller in the 12 getting spun around, clipping one of the trucks.
Just made slight contact with the 4 of Timothy Peters. Let's see if he gets going. Caution flag is out. See a little bit of damage to the left front of the corner.
You know, earlier in the show, I said it's so important on short tracks. Remember what I told you Bobby Allison taught me? Know where you're at when you enter the corner. Jack Sprague, a great race car driver, dove it down in there to complete his pass, but yet he slipped.
We're looking at Todd Bodine right now. The reason for that, he is the reason the 9th caution has come out.
We saw such a torrid battle with the 21 of Bob East. Watch this now. There's Johnny Benson. That's Ron Hornaday trying to get by, trying to put Todd Bodine. He's already a lap down trying to pass by him. You see Bobby East, the 21, staying on the inside. That's a battle for position. Here goes Ron Hornaday, but watch. When Aaron Crocker gets there, she's right next to the white line. Todd comes back down the racetrack, makes contact with Aaron Crocker, and around he goes. Caution flag comes out.
Okay, now here's where my 2 cents comes in. They're going to say that Todd Bodine, here we go, here's another view. See Todd coming down. He just cuts her off. Not her fault whatsoever. Don't blame it on her because she's a girl, okay? Now they're saying that the 21 is going to get the lucky dog because these 2 were involved. Well, my point is that, you know, Aaron Crocker's just minding her business on the bottom of the track.
The 21 was ahead of her. That's why he's getting the lucky dog.
Well, okay.
To the white flag. He needs to get around here clean one more time.
Johnny's got to figure out how to not catch these trucks. He doesn't want to catch them. He's got a big lead. Let's hope these guys in front stay clean and green.
His spotter's letting him know, Johnny, you've got a big lead. 3.5 seconds over Mike Bliss. Be cautious. You've got a lot of trucks around you. Just negotiate your way through here because the next flag you see will be the checkered flag. Johnny Benson comes out of turn number 4 and wins his second race in a row.
What a great job.
Caution has come out.
There's a good shot. Turn number 2. Joey Miller was on the inside. Looked like he tried to stay off the truck on the outside. Cut the truck hard left. Lost control of it. Spun down the backstretch almost to turn number 3. There's another view right there. You see him. He starts to push up. He starts to lose that front end, Rick, just a little bit off the corner. Then he turned that truck hard left to stay off of that truck, and you see the result right there.
170 plus miles an hour going backwards down the infield.
You see him driving the whole time, though. When he finally got that truck back straight.
Problem. Craig Kinzer moving up the track. It looks as though he got into the side of Kerry Earnhardt. Earnhardt up into the wall.
Caution flag is out. Kerry definitely be there. Look right of your screen. See Kerry Earnhardt. Oh, he got loose. He got very, very loose on the inside of the racetrack. Wiggled, had to chase the truck up the hill. And when he did, unfortunately, Kerry Earnhardt was there.
Second caution of the day has come.
Yeah, Craig Kinzer now just driving away from turn number 4, heading towards pit road. There he is right there. The second Morgan Dollar truck. A lot of damage to both of those vehicles.
Hard left turn there for Kinzer as he goes behind the wall.
They were running together. It looked like the 40 of Ryan Moore maybe pinched the 46 down a little bit. He lost control of it. Both of those trucks made some pretty hard contact to the outside wall. There's another view. They're already out of shape. The 46 almost saved it for just a moment, and then the truck darted off towards the wall.
We talk about it week in and week out. The truck on the inside gets loose a lot because of taking that air off of its spoiler.
Take a look at this ride David Reagan's going to have. These trucks are going to come down the hill. David's going to turn hard left all the way to the apron. Look at the 0-2 of Kelly Sutton spinning right in front of our 4th place truck, Top 09.
Deja vu probably for Kelly Sutton. A year ago, she got upside down in turn 4, spun around. She was okay. Staying on all.
Fontana, Terry Cook, I mean, what a run this is.
Oh, trouble.
Oh, trouble on the racetrack.
Mike Bliss getting sideways, almost saving it. And then another truck behind him. It looked like Michelle Jourdain maybe in the 50.
Might have been Bill Lester, the 22 truck.
Bill Lester in the 22 possibly as well, shoving him back up toward the wall. And so we see a
look right. You see he went to the outside of the one of Robert Richardson. He got his right side tires up out of the groove, up where no trucks have really gone. That got him loose. And then Bill Lester, with absolutely nowhere to go, made some contact and sent Mike Bliss into the outside wall.
Bliss making the hard left turn going back to pit road. Krista.
Guys, Mike Bliss actually was doing pretty well up to that point. He had just brought his truck
aboard of the 77 Dodge truck of Brendan Gaughan. Problems. That's the 02, I believe, of Kelly Sutton.
Got a little bit of fire behind that truck.
And let me just tell you, it has been very dry here in the Kansas area. It's going to be a little bit of time before they get that out, because the grass is going to burn. Those of you that did not see this accident that took place will show it again. A very hard hit on the inside wall. That's the truck going across the infield.
She's going to make some real hard contact with the inside wall. Very reminiscent of Jeff Fuller's crash of a couple of weeks ago at Kentucky Speedway, where a lot of contact. You see Kelly being loaded into the ambulance there. You see her arm move right there. She put her arm over on top of her other hand. There's her truck right there. That's the battle for 6th.
Problems with Boston Reed in the 25. He gets turned around.
And here's that caution flag.
There's the caution flag. We've been talking about potentially coming out, and it finally does. Boston Reed on lap.
Let's see if we can take a look at what happened to Boston. He's already been turned around there. Nope. Yeah, no damage whatsoever there, it looks like. He will not need to come in. You see a little damage to the left rear. He may have had a left rear tire going down.
He actually drove through his pit, and now his crew continues to carry the 77 of Brendan Gaughan right back by as Terry Cook takes the white flag. The final lap for Terry Cook. Kansas Speedway, and the battle continues for now 4th and 5th as Mike Skinner goes to the inside of Marcus Ambrose.
Mike Skinner drives right up beside Marcus Ambrose. Marcus gets that run on the outside just like Brendan Gaughan did that last time. Terry Cook's into 3.
Terry Cook moving his way through 3 and 4. Terry Cook hasn't been in victory lane for 4 years. This time, it is Terry Cook going to take the checkered flag in Kansas.
Forget about all that, just go racing. He's at front.
Oh, problems in turn number 2. We've got an accident, a couple trucks spinning around. The 07 gets turned around, and that's Wayne Edwards.
Looks like Justin Allgaier got a piece of that also with a 60 Chevrolet. He's going to get loose getting down in turn number 1. Watch that. You see him get loose. He has to chase the truck up the hill. When he does, he makes contact with his 07 of Wayne Edwards, and then Justin Allgaier came along with absolutely nowhere to go and makes some pretty hard contact with his 07.
You know, we documented earlier Craig Kinzer hit the wall on his second qualifying lap, and those guys had to actually go to the garage and make repairs to the truck, so he was still in the field in that process.
And second in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. And I think we just saw a slider in turn 2, certainly. I believe that's the 07. Wayne Edwards getting spun around one more time, having troubles in 1 and 2.
Kerry Earnhardt, the 13 truck, just narrowly avoided the 07 as he came down off the wall. Good job.
We take a look back at it. He's right up against the wall. He does brush it with the right quarter panel.
Watch Kerry Earnhardt come by in the 13, just squeak by as 07 comes down the racetrack.
And that's closer than it looks, even right there. I mean, Kerry Earnhardt, very, very fortunate. But heads up, you know, a lot of times when you see a wreck, the driver will back off the gas waiting. And if he'd have backed off.
And when the yellows come out, NASCAR came down and said he is not slowing down quickly enough. And there's a crash on the racetrack.
It's Bobby East getting into the wall. The 21 of Bobby East, as you mentioned, his teammate, Marcus Ambrose's teammate, had gotten into the wall. A lot of damage to the back of that truck.
Yeah, the state happened. He's on the inside of the 15 of Kevin Grubb. Gets a little bit loose as the 15 goes by. Has to chase it up the hill, Hermie.
He's in a real bad spot there because he's below one truck and he's got Johnny Benson tucked right in behind him, taking A off the back of his truck. So he was in a bad spot there. He just lost the back end.
A lot of damage to the back of that Ford truck.
You know, when you're on the inside of another truck.
15 of Mike Bliss with him.
Just to give you an example.
Problems on the inside
the 59
of the infield. That's Chad Chaffin in the 59 coming to a stop on the grass. We'll see if he's able to get it restarted and moving again. Nope, the caution will come out.
Chad needs to do.
He was going a little quick when he left pit road, though. We'll find out if NASCAR takes a look at that. Here's again another look at that accident.
He gets a little bit loose on the inside of that 12 truck of Joey Miller.
Same type of situation as earlier. Same effect in the corner and off the corner. He was on the inside of another truck, stepped in the gas, and the back end came around on him.
On board with the Lumber Liquidators, number 30 of Todd Bodine.
He saw the truck get sideways right in front of him, and then he saw it go towards the infield, and he got back in the throttle to get by that truck in case it turned around in the infield. All the way up to the top of the racetrack. There's a 33 Ron Hornet. He gets by the 5 of Mike Skinner.
Mike Skinner gets loose. Skinner got loose. He got into the back of the 85. We're riding along with Dennis Setzer as he slides sideways down the back stretch.
Looked like Mike Skinner may have made some contact with the outside wall. He did. That's Mike Skinner left of your screen.
There's Mike Skinner. A lot of damage to the front of that truck. He was leading this race until Ron Hornaday went to the inside, and then a couple trucks got loose.
Skinner gets loose, has to chase the truck up the hill, makes a little bit of contact with Dennis Setzer. Looks like Mike Skinner almost saves it, but he lost control, overcorrected, made some contact with the outside wall, hard contact with the outside wall. A lot of guys who did a good job getting by Mike Skinner as he came down off the wall across the racetrack.
I believe one of those is the 02 that Brad Keselowski is driving. We see him just behind this mess taking place. Watch Brad Keselowski go to the wall here to avoid both of these trucks and drive right through.
Well, great job by Brad Keselowski because Mike Skinner came up to the wall. Brendan Gaughan did a good job getting by underneath of Mike Skinner. There was a little bit of contact right there with somebody on the inside. It looked like maybe Rick Crawford had a little bit of contact. There's another view. You see Mike Skinner get loose underneath Dennis Setzer. He makes contact. Rick Crawford just went by right there, so that wasn't him. You see Mike Skinner make some contact. He's going to back down off the racetrack. That's Bill Lester that came by in the 22 Toyota to make a little bit of contact.
Riding along again with Dennis Setzer, and you'll see that's what it feels like when you're going 170 miles an hour and somebody gets into the back end of your truck.
Yeah, Dennis may come out of this unscathed, but just a little bit of contact with Mike Skinner. Obviously, we saw the result. There's Mike Skinner's truck right there to your left of your screen. Spun around in the infield right at the start-finish line. Looks to see if he can get that truck refired and underway. He's going to sit right there more than...
He gets it refired.
Let's get it refired.
The officials are waiting to throw the caution.
You know, apparently intentionally causes caution. Just
well,
gets
I don't
a little
think
bit
initially
loose.
he caused the caution by getting spun around, but then he sat there in the infield, like you mentioned.
Yeah, that's right. We saw him refire the truck. We saw the smoke out of the tailpipes, and he started to pull ahead, and he kept watching the flag stand. Here's Bobby Jr.'s onboard right there. We're going to see the 0-2, we'll see the smoke right there, but he got a little bit loose coming off turn number 4. Remember, right after a restart, trucks have a tendency to be a little bit looser right then. He's going to make his way towards pit road.
The second lead over second place Brendan Gaughan. The battle is for second as they go across the start-finish line. The white flag comes out.
Rick Crawford had another great run off of turn number 4. Had some momentum. See if he can clear Brendan Gaughan.
Brendan Gaughan up on the high side. Rick Crawford going on the low side. Gaughan gets way too high in turn number 2. That allows Johnny Benson to move up, take over third, and now it's a drag race for third down the backstretch. The battle for third continues between Gaughan and Benson, but out in front of the field, the stands up on their feet, and it will be Ron Hornaday winning in Kentucky.
And Brendan Gaughan tonight.
Aaron Crocker in the 98 here on the outside of the 16. It looks like Bliss in the 16 might have got into the back of that truck.
Well, Aaron opened up the bottom of the racetrack for just a moment, and Mike Bliss drove his Chevrolet right up under her, and then she actually tried to dime in that corner, pull back down to the inside to get a good run off the corner. David Reagan goes by. Rick Crawford, the 14 truck. Here comes
Bill Lester spins around in turns 3 and 4. He gets it turned around, fired back up again, but the caution will come out.
Surprising to see Eric Almirola kind of fumbling back mid-pack. Here we see a spin. That's Johnny Benson.
Johnny Benson. He looks like he's got some damage to the left front of that truck.
See Johnny trying to get that truck turned around. A lot of damage to the left front corner of that truck. He could take a pretty, there's a left rear tire flat, could take a pretty big hit in the points right here. Johnny had closed to within 112. Johnny turns around there. Marcus came along with nowhere to go. It happened so quick right in front of him. Ray.
Well, they put left side tires on this number 23 and try to push the hood down a little bit. No fuel in, and Johnny will make it off pit road without losing a...
The 10 of Terry Cook right now. Jack Sprague finally able to get to the inside. Look at all these trucks. Caution flags out.
Come out at Memphis. That's the 6th caution of the night. Have 16 laps of racing to go.
These trucks were 2 and 3 wide right there as the caution came out. NASCAR's going to have to take a look back at their loop to see the run. See if we can take a look back at what caused the caution. That's the 59 of Chad Chaffin. He's on the access road. Just eases up into the bottom of the racetrack, but his truck almost never even stopped. I think NASCAR was a little quick right there to throw the caution. You can see right there, his truck just barely makes it to the bottom of the racetrack, so NASCAR felt like they needed to throw the caution flag. I would have liked it.
Pass that Brandon Witt, and we got problems. The 75 of Eric Almirola has gotten into the wall in turns 1 and 2. That will bring the caution out. We will have a sprint to the finish in Memphis.
Guess what? We're going to have a green-white checker.
Jack Sprague, the white flag flies. 3/4 of a mile to go.
I said it might have been a dirty pool, but it was a good, better move right there. Jack Sprague has been in this position. He knows how to do it.
Darnell, 1 chance remaining. Jack Sprague down the backstretch, pulls to 3 truck lengths again. Here comes Darnell, hard into 3 and 4. Jack Sprague comes out of turn 4. Darnell right on his bumper. Jack Sprague will find victory lane in 06.
Great job. You cannot deny Jack Sprague. He led so much of this race, but what a terrific run, and maybe a career run for Eric Darnell in the Roush number 99, finishing second.
Problems up in turns 3 and 4. Chad Chaffin in the 50. Needed 188 laps. We take a look back at how we got to this point. On lap 40, Matt Crafton getting spun around.
Somehow, the world missed him. Lap number 63. 63 truck right there on the lap number 80. Coming off turn number 4. That's a 63.
Cameron Dodson.
I'm just surprised we don't see people spin out coming off that corner every lap.
Chad Chaffin, the number 59, involved with the caution at lap 126.
Exactly like what happened.
Former winner Chad Chaffin has brought out our 5th caution of the night on lap 126. Now 127 laps are complete as they have been under caution for one lap.
Remember, that's right there. We're going to take a look at his onboard. There's the 15 of Kevin Grubb. There's the 59 of Chad Jeffen making some contact with the outside wall as they enter turn number 3.
From the angle he hit, I'm going to guess that Grubb was on the outside of the 59, and he came up and they collided.
Here comes your...
He caught a glimpse of Dennis Setzer on his inside. He said, I got to get by this 99.
And here it goes, the battle for second. Behind them, though, the 40 gets spun around and turned into the wall. That's Ryan Moore in the number 40, bringing out our 6th caution. And just as that pass had taken place, Dennis Setzer was looking to the inside of Rick Crawford.
Was cheering for the 99. Please, let's see what happens here.
There's the 40 on the inside of the 30 at Todd Bodine. Todd makes a move to go around the inside of Michelle Jourdain, and the 40 was already there. They made a little contact, and around he went. Tough break for Ryan Moore.
Todd got a little sideways, held onto it. But what I meant, Bliss wanted to see it. Here we go. We'll look at it again from inside of Sprague's truck. Watch Sprague. How's he going to miss this wreck?
Down to the inside, Jack Sprague goes. He avoids the problems with the 40. Number 1, they begin to pile up.
Rudeman gets hooked into the outside wall.
Also involved with that, we saw the 77 of Brendan Gaughan.
Second place in points right there. Has completed every single lap so far this year, but
Kerry Earnhardt
hooked the 77 of Brendan Gaughan, and that turned Brennan up into the 17 of David Rudeman.
Wow.
So we would expect to see the 77 probably coming to pit road as well to make sure they don't have any tires going down or damage that's going to rub into their wheels.
Terry Cook's on board right there. You see all the smoke.
Caution's out, caution's out.
Man, it sure does feel good to clear those wrecks. You know, you come out on the other side.
Say, whoa.
We'll clear up the entire action.
Now on Ron Hornaday. If he can get up to Rick Crawford.
Whoa, problems! Oh. Robert Richardson getting spun around, hitting the truck, it looked like, of Marcus Ambrose. And now he's come to rest at the wall facing the wrong direction.
Yeah, he was there's Marcus Ambrose. A lot of damage to the Team Aussie.
You could see Brendan Gaughan up against the wall. He made the one truck move over, and when he did, he just hung into Ambrose as they raced down into turn 1. Just a wreck where they run out of room. Every lap off that 4th corner, you think they're going to lose control. We saw it in qualifying. We've seen it all night tonight.
Just over 5/8 of a mile to go.
He's got a good cushion right now on Dennis Setzer that battles for 3rd.
Rick Crawford looking for his 5th win in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. The battle is on between Setzer, Hornaday, and Starr for 2nd. But it is all Rick Crawford at ORP. Crawford will win in Indiana.
What a terrific job by Rick Crawford, Cowboy Sterling.
See it about to unravel completely. It's already done some damage to the back quarter panel, the left rear quarter panel.
It's amazing how much damage.
Just past the halfway point.
See,
and you see he's got a flat tire. The right front of Dennis Setzer flat. You see the truck running on the inner liner now.
This may be a situation where these fellows are leaning on.
And we see caution flag coming back out, and this time it's the 85 of Dennis Setzer. He had problems with tire earlier.
You know, I would.
There's the 85, a hard contact with the wall.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. Looked like something must have broke on that truck right there. Watch him go down into turn number 1 right here. Everything looked normal, and all of a sudden the truck turned hard right, which is exactly what happens when either you blow out a right front tire or something breaks on the right front suspension.
Like you said, it's highly likely that the last time when he cut that tire.
Ron Hornaday truck on the inside right there, right behind the 25 of Boston Reed. There's Chad Chaff in the Eaton truck. We got trouble off turn number 4.
That's Kelly Sutton again with problems. Off of turn number 4, she spins and comes to a stop on the inside of 4, but we still have not seen a caution, and so we continue. The problem is
with her, they did not bring out the caution. Going to take a look. She's right up in front of this group, right left side of your screen. She gets a little bit wide, gets her right side tires out in the loose stuff. She almost spins out here, does a great job of saving the truck, but everyone went all over the racetrack trying to avoid her. No caution on that one here. Watch her get right in front of the 13 of Kerry Earn. It just gets completely sideways.
So we just talked about right outside of the groove of these racetracks, a lot of trash and debris and rubber. Just gets right up and picks up some trash on the tires. And here's the second one coming off turn 4 again. Just loops it, spins, gets down to the bottom of the racetrack and cannot get it going in time. The leaders come by side for the lead, and she's in a bad place. She's in a bad place right there, Phil.
Watch this. They're side by side at over 160 miles an hour, and she's stopped on the inside of the racetrack. See if we can take a look back. Now watch this truck. He's just going to, coming off turn number 4 there. You see the sparks right there. That was entering turn number 1 there. We saw the tire go down before he got to turn number 1. The truck wouldn't turn.
That happened in the worst possible place it could happen, the fastest part of the racetrack.
Times of my truck and Mike Skinner's, and he said, and make sure you tell me when it's 5 to go. And it appears that Rick Crawford is into the fence here, and that may bring out the yellow. Yes, the yellow is flying here at Nashville, so it could get pretty interesting.
Here, watch Rick Crawford right there. He's in the middle of your screen, gets down in turn number 3. The tire goes down, the truck won't turn. He makes hard contact with the outside wall.
And that's a very, very bad angle to hit these walls at these racetracks. Now, the softer wall certainly, soften those blows to the driver, but win.
Toyota Tundra on the hood of Mike Skinner. The name of this race, the Toyota Tundra 200. Here comes Todd Bodine. Early on.
Contact.
Bodine's going to move him out of the way, and Skinner drops to second. Todd Bodine takes over the top spot.
Skinner came down for the block. Contact moves him up out of the way. Todd Bodine up front.
Todd faked to the outside and then moved to the inside and moved Skinner out of the way.
And I bet Mike Skinner's not real happy. If he gets a chance to get back to the rear bumper of Todd Bodine, you'll see the same thing again.
As they come to the white flag, Skinner goes to the inside. Bodine staying up high, going into turn number 1. Will they reciprocate? Todd Bodine trying to hang on to the truck. Skinner trying to make the pass.
Off the racetrack.
They're both sideways. As they both go sideways, the field goes by them. Jack Sprague, as well as the 23 of Johnny Benson.
Johnny Benson goes from 4th place to 1st place in 1 corner.
Johnny Benson's leading this race as the battles for second, but here comes Johnny.
Coming out of turn number 4. Johnny Benson is going to see the checkered flag. Benson wins in Nashville.
Talk about an upset of stunning proportions.
Block field, Skinner's already there, and you know he's not going to cut him a break on the last lap.
He was against him even before they got to the corner. They stayed together. Now they make contact. They get to the outside wall, but now they know their race is over. They're passing them left and right, and Mike Skinner goes down in a turn.
He didn't win.
You see right there, that's actually turn 3 on the very last lap. The 88 of Matt Kraft and then the 5 of Mike Skinner make contact, and there's the 18 of Bobby Hamilton Jr.
Again, that's Robert Richardson with the damage to the front. You see the smoke coming out. Now, Robert Richardson should pull on the inside of the racetrack. He could be dropping fluid on the track.
Well, he's got to be dropping fluid. I can't believe these trucks aren't getting sideways.
Drive hard.
I hope that's not Robert Richardson's spotter telling him to keep going.
That's that truck right there, the 11. He's going to come to the green flag, and watch, Phil, this is a rookie mistake. He starts passing guy. You can't pass before the start-finish line.
He's been around a long time. David Starr knows better than to pass somebody before you get to the start-finish line, but he really got a lucky break by getting the Aaron's lucky dog, and he's going to be back on the lead lap.
Well, Rowdy Bush has come to the pits. Is this a strategy play already, Phil?
Well, I don't think they can go 190-some. Dennis is not going to let him get in there. Dennis doesn't want to get hung behind him. Here comes Ted Musgrave. Trouble off for turn number 4.
At the back of it, guys.
Looks like the 50 of David Reagan.
I'm hurt.
Reagan gets spun around. Our second caution of the day gets brought out.
Saw a little damage to the left rear corner of that 50 truck. We heard his spot.
Has a little help, but gets spun around.
Two Davids collided.
And it wasn't with Goliath.
No. There you see the truck up ahead spinning.
In front of you, spin in front of you, spin in front of you.
And Rick, something really interesting. Something real cool.
That's
Ryan Moore.
Ryan Moore coming down off of the banks.
I'd like to get inside that 5 truck when we go back green flag racing and listen to him work the pedals inside of that thing. You can just hear that gas on and off, and that tells you that he's trying to get that thing.
A good job keeping that truck out of the outside wall, too. Listen to this.
Spin in front of you, spin in front of you, cautions out, spin in front of you, go low, go low, go low.
Good job. Good job on Mike Swain right there, telling Mike Skinner exactly what he needed to know.
Did you see?
Danger going to lap down. They wanted to come in on 66. Remember, this was a great tough all day in practice. on the track.
Yeah, Krista, that's Marcus Ambrose in that 20, getting up in turn number 2, up into the wall, actually, bringing out our 4th caution.
Bob, Johnny right up there with him. Ray, what's happening in the pit?
Hey, Michael, you know, you go, oh, we got a spinner. There goes the 33 of Hornaday around. We'll come back to that story.
Ron Hornaday's able to keep going, so we stay green. Ray, go ahead.
Wow, how about that? Action all over this racetrack. And, you know, part of it was about Mark Martin. I wanted to tell you.
Just got loose, getting in the corner. Ted Musgrave, the 9, did a great job getting by him, but Ron actually saved that truck.
You just don't see that. Ron just lost that truck. That tells you how on the edge these guys are, Phil. Every lap is like a driving exam just to survive at Bristol.
Watch this, Michael.
Watch him. He just hooks it in there and the thing spins out on him. Well, it almost spun out on him.
Yeah. Great save. Bob.
Well, Aaron Crocker is on pit road, and she has had a pretty difficult day. She said she hit right.
Ball wasn't about 3 feet longer, Phil. Watch how close he comes hitting the inside wall.
And you usually hit that inside wall pretty hard. He just gets by the inside wall. A lot of damage to the left side of that truck. There's another. Goat got a good shot here from pit road. Just missing that inside wall. Good job, Goat.
A little bit of damage on the inside of that truck, though. And
getting a report that Rowdy Bush.
Chad McCumbee sticks his nose under there, and here comes Setzer lower than him.
Whoa, Setzer gets Chad McCumbee turned around.
Cut his left rear tire down, Rick. That's why that truck spun out. When he drives away here, you can see when the 2 trucks made contact, it blew out his left rear tire. He couldn't hold on to it.
Probably pulled the valve stem right out of that truck. And the 85 of Dennis Setzer drove right up beside him and just ripped the valve stem right out of his left rear tire.
All over the back end of Terry Cook, and while he's doing that, Dennis Setzer went down almost on the apron to make that pass.
Bobby East did a great job getting his truck stopped. That's the 21 right there of Bobby East. Got his truck stopped to avoid contact with the 08.
Bob.
All right, boys. Mike Skinner's crew chief is Jeff Hensley, and he and Mike were talking during the last caution period and saying, hey, guys, we might have really screwed up when we were talking on the radio earlier.
Get to Bristol Motor Speedway. It's not about aerodynamics, and it's
problems with Jack Sprague up into the wall hard.
Caution flag is out.
This is our 8th caution of the night.
Well, that truck just took hard right as they got down in the middle of 1 and 2.
So the caution lights coming on almost immediately.
There it goes. See, went hard to the right.
It never turned. That truck wound up a lot narrower than it was before you hit that wall.
There's another view. He's right in the center of the corner there, and the truck just took off on him. That's Kyle Busch's onboard right there. 15 of Kyle Busch trying to make his way back towards the front. There's the 16 of Mike Bliss. Got trouble
for Eric Almirola.
Wow.
He spins in turn number 1.
Big crash down the front straightaway, Rick. He didn't miss the end of that inside wall like we saw. Joey Miller. Look at Joey's truck. It's damaged on the right front. I can't tell what precipitated that. Could you, Phil?
They probably got into a little bit more trouble coming off for turn number 4. Let's see if we can go back a little ways. There's a 75 right there of Eric Almirola. He gets loose coming off the corner.
Oh, and Joey was just a victim.
Joey was just a victim right there, but Eric's going to make some hard contact with the inside wall.
A lot of damage to the front end of the 75, the Spears Manufacturing 75 Chevrolet.
Yeah, Martin, Todd Bodine. How about Atlanta? It was Todd Bodine and Mark Martin.
This is actually the legitimate restart. This is not a green-white checker attempt here.
But if he makes it back one time, the race is history. And looks like he's going to do a pretty good job of pulling that off.
Kyle Busch jumped to the outside. He's on the outside of Mike Skinner. But meanwhile, Mark Martin.
Mark Martin comes out of turn number 4. The white flag. A half a mile to go for Mark Martin. Looking for his 4th win of 2006. Problems in turn 3 and 4. The caution has not come out. They're going to continue to race. As the truck almost comes back up on the racetrack, it will be Mark Martin claiming victory in Bristol.
Checkered flag right there. You got it, buddy.
Team.
Are we seeing Todd Bodine start? Oh, we've got problems. Early on, it's Bill Lester and Eric Almirola and Robert Richardson.
Wow.
Quite a bit of damage to the rear of that 22 truck.
Robert just came along and tried to dive.
2 of Bill Lester. We take one more look at how this happened.
Entering turn number 1 down here, you see the 22 just gets loose on the outside of the racetrack. Eric Almirola had nowhere to go. Ooh. Robert Richardson came along, and that's where all the damage came to the 22 of Bill Lester. Looks like he just got away from him, Michael.
Yeah, you get up high, you get on the brakes a little bit harder than you want to, it sends that truck spinning.
First caution has come out here in New Hampshire. We'll be back with Green Flag Racing after this.
Gil Martin, as Adam talked about at the start of the race.
Problems with the 6.
Out, guys.
It's Martin. We believe he backed it into the wall.
He definitely has some damage. You see the left rear quarter panel of that truck wrinkled. There's the rear bumper. This is some.
He still thinks he can win this race, Phil. He's saying just put the practice tires on it. How did he spin? Oh, up underneath another truck.
He's on the inside. He's going to make a little contact with the 9 of Ted Musgrave. He actually turned left to try to stay off of Ted Musgrave. Going to make slight contact with the outside wall. I don't really think he hurt that truck, Michael.
No, he just has to make a decision now on what to do on tires. Maybe practice tires. He wants to save his good tires for the last 50 laps. Come in late in the race, put his good tires on, and have a chance to fight back to the front. He was racing all the way up to the 8th spot.
He knows it's too early right now. He cannot make it the rest of the way. So he knows everyone's going to have to make another pit stop later in this race. He wants to save. He's got one good set of tires left. He wants to save them. We're sideways right behind them.
Oh, crash on the backstretch. Big crash.
Mark's involved in it.
Problems with the 6 of Mark Martin again. The 77 of Brendan Gaughan also involved in that.
The 10 of Terry Cook is involved. The 21 of Bobby East is involved. A lot of damage to the Georgetown truck of Brendan Gaughan. You see it right there. There's Bob.
I'd say somebody cut someone off again, exiting turn 2.
Brendan.
Oh. No, Brendan just got high.
Got high, made some contact with Terry Cook. There's a 4 of Chase Miller making his first start. He got involved in it. Mark Martin got involved. He makes some contact with the outside wall, and along came the 21 of Bobby East. Made some hard contact.
Riding along on the Power Stroke diesel by International number 10 of Terry Cook. This is what he saw as he went by. He got tagged. 4th caution of the day at New Hampshire.
Check this out, Phil. Exiting turn 2, Brendan, wham.
He was going to go to the outside of the 25 of Boston Reed. Boston came up the hill, left Brendan nowhere to go. He slid in.
Whoa. The 17. Oh, and problems with Boston. Boston Reed gets spun around into the wall hard. And that will bring out our 6th caution of the day. Wow. Trying to make it 3 wide going into 1 just does not.
One of those trucks that was involved, I think maybe with Brendan Gaughan, the 77. Here's another view after the contact has already taken place, and pretty hard hit to the safer barrier for Boston Reed.
See him on the outside. There's Rudeman going to the inside. It's trying to make it 3 wide going into turn 1.
Problem was, it looked like Boston Reed did not realize that they were 3 wide. He took a normal line like they were only side by side, and I think that's why he kind of squeezed the 18 of Bobby Jr. Take another look at it right here as they go down into turn number 1.
There's a little contact as they make it right into 1, spin Boston around, and our 6th or 5th caution of the day has come out. We'll see how many green flag laps we get when we come back.
I think we're not the only ones that heard that.
The 9's into the wall.
Hard contact for the back for Ted Musgrave and the number 9, the Team ASC Toyota Tundra. A lot of damage.
That's our 4th place point man.
Is the problem for that ASE Toyota.
He's got quite a few more problems now.
Yeah. Let's take a look right now. He was on the inside of Rick Crawford, the 14 truck. Looked like he tried to stay off Rick, got that truck sideways, made some hard contact with a safer barrier.
And remember how I said how easy that is to do? Remember Craven here a couple of years ago? Going to win the race, had a chance to, did the same thing on the inside of another truck.
Mark Martin earlier this race.
Yeah, and me at IRP, as Rick so quickly pointed out. You know, it's easy to do. You just think the guy on the outside's going to give you.
Sure. Come back inside.
Kyle's going to try to come back inside. Let's see what he can do when he gets down there.
Problems with Mike Bliss into the wall in turn number 2.
Ooh. NASCAR's going to have to.
No, it's the caution just flying.
Caution is out now.
So Johnny, excuse me, Kyle will have the lead back.
I think I hit very hard.
In front of Kyle Busch. Then it's Mike Skinner, Todd Bodine, and David Starr, top 5.
Somebody.
Yeah, we got a problem in turn number 2. It's the 46 of Clint Boyer.
Caution flag is out.
12 cautions. The record continues. Krista.
Well, you guys were talking about Mark Martin.
He only lost a 10 to Skinner that last lap. He could lose a second or so on this lap, Bill, and still be okay.
You see Mike Skinner right there. He's about 8-10 truck lengths behind. He's not going to be able to catch Johnny unless Johnny really has a bad corner down here. There is a lap truck that Johnny's going to have to negotiate.
Johnny Benson doing all he can to gain as many points as possible to try to win this championship. He comes home the winner in New Hampshire. Mike Skinner second.
He just took over the third spot from Chase Miller the last time around.
Chase Miller drops back to fourth. Eric Darnell in fifth. And then problems with Bobby Hamilton Jr. into the wall, and our caution comes out once again. Fastenal dodge of Bobby Hamilton Jr.
For one.
He slid up the racetrack right there going into turn 1 and 2 like he almost knew something was wrong or going wrong going into the corner.
But he got back in the throttle in the center of the corner, and listen right here. That's what it sounds like when a tire at 100.
Great break from Mike Skinner and some of these guys that stayed up, though. They needed to get this break to get on pit road.
Replay got a little loose and got into the inside wall.
Made some contact with the inside wall. He brought his truck down pit road. They did not make any contact with the outside wall.
You see how hard he was turning to the right, but still couldn't get that truck to straighten out. These high banks are sending them down the track.
Well, as drivers, you know, it's human nature. When you get sideways and start backing up the racetrack, you nail the throttle to keep the back.
See, we got a slow truck just in front of Todd Bonney, almost coming up the racetrack.
That
looks like the
Pete Shepard.
Pete Shepard driving the 6 this week, as David Reagan has opted to run in Dover in the Busch Series and Cup Series. Under caution is this. The 6 of Pete Shepard trying to make his way through 4, gets sideways, hangs on to it, no contact. '18th position.
It's a little surprising that we saw some. We got trouble going into turn number 1.
That's Jack Sprague in the number 60, and he's going to try to hold it off of the track and out of the way of the other trucks. He's able to keep it from, I guess, making contact with any of the other drivers, but up
already on that thing, so I'm not sure that could have caused that problem. If that would have blown up, it would have blocked the air on the rear spoiler, which he relies on for downforce, and that may have been why, unless there possibly some contact in the tri-oval.
I was going to say, in the tri-oval, you don't normally see a truck get sideways, but to get by Mike Skinner as they go across the start-finish line, the white flag out. It's 3 truck lengths between Skinner and Musgrave as they go into turn number 1. Angie Skinner, wife of Mike Skinner, eyes closed, probably saying a prayer, please don't let anything go wrong as they go down the backstretch. Skinner in front of Musgrave.
They've had a couple chances. They were so good at Texas. Todd Bodine passed him on the last lap. He and Todd Bodine wrecked on the last lap at Nashville.
Twice. Mike Skinner has finished second in the 06 season, but tonight in Vegas, he will win the Smith Las Vegas 350.
What a great job on Mike Skinner. Jeff Hensley.
As he has service done to his truck.
Robert was running by himself. He lost control coming off turn number 4. He does a great job staying out of the inside wall. You see this left rear tire is down. That's probably what caused him to spin out.
We saw how close Derek Cope come to spinning when he blew out his left rear. Robert was a little bit deeper down the
negotiating right between turn 3 and 4. You see him, the 21, right in the middle of your screen. His truck just takes off. Fortunately, Michael, he was on the outside. If he was on the inside, his truck's going to take off anyway, and he's going to take somebody with him. But a single truck accident.
Because of positioning, Phil. Just think if he's down there where Rudiman is. He takes out 2 or 3 trucks on his way up to the wall.
Good job by Bobby to keep that 21 truck up against the wall. There's another view right there coming right at us.
What a strong run for Bobby today. He's been in the top 5. That amazes me. He had a crash and he's on the lead lap. Look at Rudiman. He's sitting there and they're crashing all around him. He says, when y'all get done spinning out, I'm going to go about my business.
Going to be out here.
Todd Bodine is going to receive the black flag, and we got problems with the 25. Boston Reed in the 25 has spun around. The caution has come out.
And the 30 truck of Todd Bodine is receiving the black flag. He got a big break, Michael, by the caution being out, but he is going to lose all his track position.
He isn't racing for points. He's going to try to get that gecko ahead of that Scott's truck.
Through the tri-oval, across the start-finish line, 1 lap to go at Talladega.
Todd Bodine came across the line in 14th spot. Restarted in 27th, already up to 14th, and he's fanning out to the outside now.
Here comes Mike Skinner in the second line. Johnny Benson moves up. Skinner moves up higher. Mark Martin is going to try to block as they go down the backstretch.
Look at Todd Bodine right out against the wall.
Todd Bodine moved up. He made it into the top 10. He's running 3 wide.
Whoa, there they go.
There they go. Mike Wallace into the wall. And Derek Cope gets almost upside down into the wall. The caution is going to come out. The checkered is going to fly. Mark Martin out in front of the field as they come out of turn number 4. And Mark Martin will win at Talladega.
Yeah, the caution flag is out. It doesn't matter if Mike Skinner drives by him or not. This race is over, and Mark Martin has won again.
Wow.
Todd Bodine may have just made it up into the top 5 at the end of that race.
See all the Derek Cope had such a great run going after overcoming that flat left rear tire. Hard contact there. Top.
We're not going to miss anything. Let's see what happens. Skinner gets into the back of Mike Wallace.
Gets in the right rear corner and turns him up in the outside wall. Derek Cope, it looked like he got hit from behind by Todd Bodine. And I'm telling you, Michael, it looks like Todd Bodine is running 4th.
Take a look
Ruderman
at this.
gets hit by the 9, knocks him up into Johnny.
Look at these. They're 5 wide right now.
But the wreck didn't happen because of that.
That was Todd Bodine who got into the 40.
Todd Bodine got into the 40 of Derek Cope, just as the 5 of Mike Skinner got into the 15 of Mike Wallace.
I think Todd Bodine was 4th.
I think Todd Bodine finished 4th in this race.
Unbelievable. Todd Bodine getting penalized, goes all the way to the back, and then potentially could finish 4th in this race.
There's another shot here.
What about this glob? There's 2 things that happened. Todd Bodine turned the 40, and Mike Skinner turned the 15.
Totally separate. And those 2 incidents were totally separate within about 30 feet of each other.
And they did exactly the same thing. They got into the right rear quarter panel of the trucks they were racing.
Now, could that be, and we haven't even talked about the fact that Mark Martin has won this race, his 5th win, but could that be, I mean, can it be a penalty for Todd Bodine?
Well, it's the last lap. I don't think you'll see a penalty, but certainly over-aggressive driving by both those guys on the last lap.
Skinner and Bodine.
If there's such a thing as that, is there?
But we talked about it the whole race. These guys really used their heads this entire race. We got down to the very last lap here. Watch this. This is what Dennis Setzer saw here. They're 5 wide right in front of him.
But listen, Dennis, wow, did you see Derek Cope's truck?
Wow.
That looked like something from Twister.
Flying right next to him.
Watch this
Take
now.
a look at this real time. Now they're coming down the backstretch.
They fan out. They're at least 5 wide right here. Mike Skinner's going to make some contact with Mike Wallace first. Oh, we broke the camera.
We'll have to get that fixed for tomorrow.
Thumper will take care of it.
Now we need to freeze it right there and try to figure out who finished where.
And NASCAR is doing exactly
that. NASCAR will do that. Remember, NASCAR will look at whatever they can available.
Greenfield, they all want to get to the bottom, and they're trying so hard over turn 4. We got trucks heading every which direction.
Bill Lester, Brendan Gaughan involved in our first accident, which has brought out caution on lap number 1. Bill Lester gets spun back around. Brendan Gaughan still stopped up against the wall. That's actually very close to it.
Reaction deal. The 50 truck gets turned around. Brendan with nowhere to go. Makes a little bit of contact on the inside wall, but
it didn't look like it would have hurt it, but it
looked like he hardly even hit the inside wall.
And so,
lap number 31.
Oh, we got a spin.
And we got a spin. Looks like David Reagan coming off turn number 2. That will bring out the caution. I think we've run enough now that I think everyone will hit pit road, and the majority of them, if we get enough trucks as good as Jack Sprague is.
I think a left rear tire blew on the number 50.
Well, if we could run it back, the reason why they came off turn 4 3 wide.
You can see the left rear tire right there. It had already gone down. David Reagan kept that truck out of the wall. Big news for him this week, as we heard earlier, going to take over the 6th car of Mark Martin next year for Roush in the Nextel Cup Series.
No one saw that come him here. See if he can spin it out, or maybe the carcass will come off and he doesn't lose a lap. He knows it's flat, but he didn't decide to come to pit road.
Right, he's hoping for a caution.
There it is, right there. Now
he'll call that one.
That's what I thought would happen. It'd be interesting to see if NASCAR thinks he did that on purpose.
I'll tell you how good Ron is. You see, he made a lot of
smoke, Michael.
And he made a lot of smoke too to try to get that caution. Did you notice that?
With this truck.
Right. Thank goodness NASCAR doesn't listen to what we talk about, because Michael, I think, predicted that one.
Or maybe they just don't pay attention to what we say. They might listen.
Okay, but see, he did such a good job with it. Everybody knows he did it on purpose. I hate to tell you, but he did good.
But then there's a leader right there, the 9 truck, so they may determine that the 33.
Hi, here in Martinsville.
The problem with that is,
oh, trouble in the front stretch. Big crash.
It's Damon Lusk, the 25 truck.
A lot of damage to the front of the 25. The caution comes out for the 4th time. Again, Damon Lusk taking over that driving position from Boston Reed. This
can't come from the back. He's decided, y'all. He's going to stay out. And you notice the 25 put a lot of fluid down on the track. This is going to take a while to clean up to make sure the track is dry. It's exactly what Ted Musgrave's crew chief wanted. And like I said, if they get that 30 laps, in which they're going to get, they're going to be okay.
Damon Lusk got spun around. Someone
did.
got to the back of him.
You know, end truck of Chad McCumbee was up on the outside of him. I think he just ran out of space. I don't believe anything intentional happened there. I think McCumbee was just up on the outside, and they kind of came together.
Yeah.
So Damon Lusk, as you had mentioned, a lot of debris on the front stretch, which is a good thing for Ted Musgrave because it means more caution laps.
It doesn't matter if they disagree or not.
Problem, Aaron Crocker gets turned around in the number 98. She was running well, was up in the 16th position. And as the drama continues for Ted Musgrave.
The 21, Bobby, she committed to the bottom of the racetrack. Bobby came down. Aaron did a good job staying off the curve, but unfortunately spun that truck around. I'm not sure she made.
From Aaron's, he's gotten that Toyota up to the front of the line, even though he's 2 laps down. So if he can stay there, get a couple of quick cautions, he's going to have to get a couple of quick ones, though. We got a spinner.
Problem with the 77 of Brendan Gaughan again and Cameron Dodson in that 63.
He got one of them, Michael.
He needs them quick.
Just take a look. That's Cameron Dodson, the 63. Brendan Gaughan, the 77, drives in and makes a little bit of contact. Both trucks turn around. They both got going without losing a lap.
Hard on the brakes.
There's another view of it. Just a synchronized spin right there.
Oh, those are so painful, Phil. You know you're just going to lose a lap. Your truck won't start. You just made a bit of an error in judgment.
Bobby Hamilton
trying to shoot into a hole that wasn't there.
Back out on the racetrack. We saw Bobby Hamilton Jr. come in with rear end problems, and so
prayer to get back to the front unless they start spinning people out.
And speaking of spinning, the 50 of David Reagan around again.
That was the truck that was immediately in front of the 30 of Todd Bodine. So looks like there's something yellow sticking in the back. See if we can take a look there. You see the trucks wiggling in front of them. The 50 truck's going to move to the right behind the 33, and Todd's going to drive in there, make a little bit of contact.
And around he goes.
And around he went.
We're within 40 laps of the finish of this deal, Phil, and people just, they're not going to wait around. Todd didn't even have any position on that guy at all and just spun him out. I believe I might think about, if I'm NASCAR, I might say that looked intentional.
The pole. And problems early on in this restart. We've got a big melee in turn number 1. Chad McCumbee involved in it.
There's Robert Richardson right there, the 1 truck. We've got 63 of Cameron Dodson, 98 of Aaron Crocker. There's his
caution of the day at Martinsville, and we expect it at short track racing. 5 trucks involved in this most recent caution. The Kroger 200 continues on speed. Holding on to the position. Now on the inside, Kyle Busch trying to make the move.
Kyle wanted to make sure he wanted it real bad. We got a spinner, Bliss, right in the middle of things.
Coming out of 4, Mike Bliss has problems. That 16 gets turned around, and our 12th caution of the day has come out.
A little bit of damage to lose all his track position. You see him on the outside. Looked like, was there a little contact from the 46 of Denny Hamlin, Michael?
Who ran into us?
Who ran into us, Bliss says.
Yeah, it's going to be Denny Hamlin, Mike, is who it was.
But he got run into by Rick Crawford. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was not Hamlin's fault. Crawford ran into Hamlin. That's just chain reaction. That's short track racing. When you drive in, 3 truck links back and hit a guy and spin him out, that's not right. But
they got David Starr right there. He's going to gain some this lap.
White flag flies. David Starr behind Jack Sprague as they cross the start-finish line. Under a half a mile to go. Jack Sprague behind Robert Richardson.
He better not slip down here, Phil, as they go into turn 3. Sprague is there.
Jack Sprague.
Look at him.
Right behind Robert Richardson, and it will be Jack Sprague coming out and grabbing the checkered flags for the Kroger 200.
Doesn't know limits. He's got to find out where they are. He just found them.
He found that one over in that end of the race.
That's right. Oh, and now
Martin spinning as they go down on the backstretch into the wall. Mark Martin, heavy damage to that Scott's number 6 back into the line of traffic.
We saw that turn out with disastrous results here a couple of years ago.
Sure did.
Everyone avoiding Mark Martin.
The inside wall, it's pretty messed up.
You wonder if maybe they're
like he is there, and he had to just turn it to keep it off of Brudeman, and around it went.
That's exactly what happened. We've seen that happen so many times. The truck on the bottom of the racetrack loses air off that spoiler. As you mentioned, he got loose. He tried to chase it. He tried to keep it off David Rudeman. And when he did, unfortunately, when he turned it left, it turned on him. Watch this now.
It just loses grip, and he went up to David, and it ripped all the air off his rear spoiler, and around that thing went. I'm just so thankful nobody got into him when he went back up in the racetrack.
Some pretty heads-up driving by these people. They went by him on the outside. They didn't panic and lock the brakes up and maybe spin. Watch them go by there. And these cats are probably running 150 miles an hour by this time because they've already slowed down because they knew that Mark was having trouble.
Man, he didn't need a whole lot more room not to have that wreck, but tore his truck up. It's over for him today, Phil.
First caution has come out at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We've only completed 3 laps of racing.
For the conventional setup, Phil, and you see what that feels like, and then you're liable to put a coil bind setup in the front, which means you're
problems. The 24, A.J. Allmendinger, was the leader of this race. He gets into the 46, Nemechek. And so Allmendinger, Nemechek, a lot of damage to those trucks.
You can hear A.J. Allmendinger tell his story. With the 24 on the bottom of the racetrack. Johnny goes to the high side. That's going to take air off his spoiler, Michael.
Oh, wow. Just like Mark Martin. You know, it's just slippery over there right now. Skinner almost did the same thing.
Johnny Benson taking the lead, going by A.J. Allmendinger.
That's big for Johnny, too. That's 5 bonus points.
This is
Look at this at speed.
Scary at speed. Where do those guys go behind them? They just know to go low.
You see all the smoke back there. Those trucks right behind them couldn't see a thing.
And as A.J. Allmendinger stepping into this deal, leading the race early, he didn't really do anything terribly wrong there. You know,
Miller lost the right rear, and look at the damage as he got into the wall.
Yeah, he shredded that right rear tire on that Fastenal Dodge. Had a great run going. It's the second flat tire of the afternoon.
And that's the second time the right rear's gone flat. That might mean something's amiss in there.
Something is amiss. So he's already lost that right rear tire.
And he's just saying, please don't hit anything, please. Watch this, Phil.
Oh. Ooh, makes a little bit of contact with the inside wall, but got the truck down off the racetrack. Did a good job getting the truck there. Here it is, another view of him hitting the inside wall.
And that doesn't have the softer wall on it, safer barrier. So that does a lot of damage.
Right along with another Fastenal truck.
Watch when you look up there and see that. Right now, Bobby Jr. doesn't know if he's going to stay low or go high, and that's just a real tense time. You see him going low, but you're thinking, should I go down there? And then, like they say in Days of Thunder, when I get there, he'll be gone? Or should this is 20th place we're looking at, and they're 3 wide back there racing.
Oh, Johnny Benson, our point
Johnny
contender.
Benson gets sideways.
The call. Look back at what happened to JB. You see him up on the high side of the racetrack.
Get a drive shaft, guys.
Uh-oh.
Look, that is the drive shaft.
That's the drive
you
shaft.
See it
just
flying out of the picture there.
Wow. Talk about a horrible break for Johnny Benson.
And Johnny Benson.
Johnny's spinning right there.
You're going to see that drive shaft come out, Michael, as you say. Comes right
Freeze
there.
it right there. There's the drive shaft out of the 23 truck.
On the racetrack. We got to get back to the garage.
Now, why that would have happened, Phil? Nervous. This is a rookie. This kid hadn't done this a whole lot. Let's hope he can hang on to that truck.
Let's give him some extra room when we get down here in the corner. Let's don't go. Who's
problem right there? That's the 59 of Chad Chaffin in that Goodwill number 59. It's Toyota Tundra this week, and a lot of damage to the right side of that truck.
Yeah, it looks like he may have lost the right front tire as he came off. Watch him. He's right in the middle of the racetrack. And
he gets turned.
He gets hooked right there by the 21 of Bobby East, and that's what puts him in the wall. And then that cuts down his right front tire.
Yeah, it looked like the 21 had position on the 59, didn't really realize the 59 was going to come up, and right there, contact.
3 and 4 wide, just in front of Chad Chaffin. He was trying to move up the racetrack. Bobby East was there.
Tough break for Jim Harris.
Finish line, 1.54 miles to go. Mike Bliss in front of Terry Cook.
Terry Cook's going to have one shot at him. He should be able to catch him maybe when they enter turn number 3. You got a wide racetrack. He doesn't have to run the same line as Mike Bliss.
Trying to take the momentum through 1 and 2. Out onto the backstretch they go, and here comes Terry Cook right on the back bumper of Mike Bliss.
Where's he going?
Where's he going, Michael? Bliss to the bottom. He's been good there all day. Terry decides to go just a little bit high, but that Bliss truck is so strong on the bottom.
A big lead for Mike Bliss as they come out of turn number 4 and win number 13 for Bliss in Atlanta.
A big lead for Bliss in Atlanta. First start he got when the race. Oh, we got a spin.
Problems with Kerry Earnhardt, gets spun around in the number 13. Now that's a backup truck.
Get her fired up.
The caution has come out for Kerry Earnhardt. Doesn't look like any damage to the truck.
That's a bit of a quick caution. He was down on the apron, got to the outside. I don't know if there was any contact. Did you see any, Mike?
I saw none, and I guarantee you that scared the snot out of Kerry Earnhardt. You come down this front straightaway with the mat, with that throttle on the mat, and you spin out. That'll drive you crazy.
Third caution of the night has come out under the lights at Texas Motor Speedway. We'll be back with more green flag racing after this. Welcome back. Mike Skinner out in
Mansfield. You can spin around and cause yourself a caution. Here, you got to slow down to keep. Oh, we got trouble off turn 4.
That's Brendan Gaughan almost into the wall. He cuts down in front of 2 trucks. One of those being Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Bobby East, the other one.
Just clear, back it down.
The caution has come out.
Brendan was so out of shape there and never
has left off turn 4. It's crazy.
This was a close call for Bobby Jr. Brendan Gaughan's up front there. Look at him slide sideways.
What happened there? He got a little bit loose, overcorrected. You saw the sparks. That was a truck bottoming out as it shot to the right. And he had no choice but to turn it to the left, and he spun out. Look at the black marks, Phil.
And that might have been right in the tunnel area too, which is part of the rough part of the racetrack. Both ends of the racetrack have tunnels. And they're pretty bumpy.
A very close call for Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Bobby East as Brendan Gaughan slides right in front of them coming out of turn number 4. Crawford having more problems in this 2006 season. Had seems like a right front tire go down and into the wall hard.
Yeah, that impact we saw was the second impact. He'd already hit the wall, and you can see all the damage to the right front of that circle bar forward. What a horrible break for Rick Crawford.
Rick was our 4th place driver in the point standings. He's already fallen back to 5th, and he'll keep tumbling, Phil. Bad break for Rick Crawford.
Look at Gord in 5th. Todd Bodine, our points leader, in 7th, 2 spots back. Problems with Dennis Setzer. A lot of damage to the right front of that truck.
Oh, there sure is. Look at all the damage to Dennis Setzer's truck right there. You see the tires come completely off the wheel.
Wow, you get a good look in there at the spring. This is to replay.
We're taking a look at the 85 right now. And again, he hits that wall at a very hard angle.
That was about a 45-degree angle right there, and that's about the worst. That's about the worst possible way to hit that wall, is at about a 45-degree angle.
It would appear he got sideways, Phil. Yeah, see that? Yeah. Just like we thought. It turned sideways, and he just couldn't keep up with the steering, and it drove into the outside wall.
He was on the outside. He may have got his. Todd's going to. Johnny's going to continue to lose spots as the laps run out here.
David Ruderman has gained 25 points on Todd Bodine, and we've got a caution that's come out. Kerry Earnhardt, number 13, into the wall.
All right.
Our 7th caution of the night.
Another right front tire. It looks like failure, but hey, this thing isn't over.
That Kyle Busch will drive around the outside of that 46 truck. That's a right front tire blow. That's the second one Kerry's blown. Second truck he's lost.
Yeah, he cut one down in practice, very early on in practice. He had a tire rub, then it rubbed a hole in it, but that one was.
I wonder where the hot dog stands at. We might find out.
8th green-white checker of 2006 finish. It's Clint Boyer right in front of Kyle Busch as they go into turn number 1. 2 laps of racing to go.
Clint has got to hold that throttle right down to the floor. If he runs wide open, Kyle may not have a shot on him, but Kyle's pulled right up to his bumper.
And there goes Boyer again. Boyer again, protecting that inside, Phil.
And look who's on the inside. Mike Skinner, Jack Sprague also looking. Skinner gets by Sprague, and now it's a race for the top spot. Busch goes to the high side. Boyer down on the low side.
Going to be 1 lap to go here.
Kyle Busch will be very aggressive, Phil. He knows how Boyer is playing this game, and he's going to make sure that he gives him all he's got.
Less than a mile to go.
Ooh, big corner for Boyer. He was able to drop away from Kyle Busch a little bit.
Looked like Kyle lost the front end for just a second there in the middle of the corner.
That could be enough for Clint Boyer to claim his first win. Both of them right on the white line as they go through 3 and 4. Coming out of 4, it's Clint Boyer going to take the win in the Chevy Silverado 350.
Good job. Woohoo!
Be interesting interesting to see if Skinner drives.
Already as they go down the backstretch.
Johnny's spinning out right in front of Todd.
Johnny Benson sideways in turn 4. Doesn't look as though he hit anything.
Yeah, doesn't look like anybody got it. Nice save.
Now talk about unbelievable.
That truck was almost a half.
He's obviously on the inside right now of his teammate. He gets loose, chases it up the hill. The same situation we've seen so many times. What a great heads-up job by Top Bodine. He had Matt Crafton right behind him, almost pushing him into Johnny Benson right there. Here's what Todd saw.
Look at this view.
I'm telling you, that 23 truck right there deserved his teammate to let him lead that first lap. You don't run down in there on the outside of your guy that's racing for a championship. Johnny probably thought Skinner would give him a break.
They had some time. Qualifying was earlier today.
Oh, big crash.
Another problem in turn 1. That's Chase Miller.
Wow.
Hit the wall very hard.
Got a bit of a fire right there. Probably busted the fuel pump.
He just buried it in there and hit him.
Somebody buried it in the corner.
All right.
Jack Sprague.
Looked like Jack Sprague in the 60 Conway Toyota ran into him, and that was a hard hit. Thank goodness for the safer barrier there. And we heard Chase talk, hey, I'm okay.
When we come back, we'll check out how Chase Miller's doing, as well as get this field lined back up. We're rolling that Spears Manufacturing Chevrolet. Caution has come out, the third caution of the day, and we're seeing smoke out of the back of the 14. A tough week after coming from Texas. Ford out in front, then it's 3 Toyotas and a Chevrolet, your top 5. Oh, problems with the 10 of Terry Cook. He gets spun around.
Flat left rear tire. Must have got a little contact maybe. Phil, somebody got into that left rear tire, cut it down, and he went spinning. Luckily, he didn't hit.
The 46 of Craig Kinzer, the 16 of Mike Bliss, the 25 of Damon Lusk, and the 10 of Terry Cook, all were 4 wide for a moment.
There's a turn back there, Phil, and it was okay when they were going straight, but when they all tried to make that left.
On board with Terry Cook, that Power Stroke diesel by International, and here comes the 16. Bliss gets into the side of him. Cook goes around, and that brings out caution number 6 from the Phoenix International Raceway. We're inside 50 laps to go in the second to last race of the season. Lights are out on the pace truck and around this track so far this evening.
There's a 15 of Kyle Busch trying to get his lap back. That's him racing Mark Martin right now. Remember, his truck has been good for 35, 40 laps. Oh,
problems. Oh, and that's Craig Kinzer in the 46. You see the damage to the lower valance on the left front of that truck.
The 59.
Harris's 59. On pit road, we take another look at it. Craig Kinzer gets turned around.
Looked like he just maybe got pushing up real high, got out of the throttle. Then they made a little contact right there, and the 59 came along with really absolutely nowhere to go.
Looked like just a flat tire, though. I believe he's going to be able to get that thing back going. Ted Musgrave is our lucky dog.
Kyle Busch was able to get his lap back. He was actually ahead of Mark Martin when the caution came out. Ted Musgrave was our leading truck, not on the lead lap, so he got his lap back also. Spinner, that's the 63 of Cameron Dodson.
Cameron Dodson's going to bring out our 8th caution of the night. We haven't seen a lot of long.
The race the most interesting. Johnny Benson proved. Ooh, Amarola rolls up into Cameron Dodson there in turn 3. Johnny Benson proved to Mark Martin on that restart, I'm here with you, buddy. You're not going anywhere. He was not able to shake Johnny on that start.
So another caution has come out at Phoenix. It's Cameron Dodson this time bringing out the yellow flag. We'll be back with more, hopefully, green flag.
Battle on his hands.
One of the fastest trucks this weekend. Mark Martin fastest in practice yesterday, and then it was Johnny Benson setting a track record, and John Mickle gets spun around. As he spins around and keeps going, the caution has not yet come out.
No caution.
So we will stay under green flag conditions.
That's coming off turn number 4 with these 3 wide right there in the middle of straightaway. We're going to get down to turn number 1, and business is going to pick up.
Wow, Ruderman doesn't know how lucky he was.
Setzer hit him pretty hard there too in the 85, and then Mickle gets spun around.
Good move by David Reagan.
Up front though, it is a battle for the top spot. Mark Martin just in front of Johnny Benson.
Ron Hornaday was looking for a great save on his part, but yeah, he said on the radio he feels like something's going down.
Kerry Earnhardt, smoke coming out of that truck, and the caution will come out for the 9th time. That will tie the record for the most cautions here in Phoenix. Here's a few laps ago. This is Kerry Earnhardt out there, and this may have started the problems right there.
It's a pretty hard contact with Damon Lusk in the 25. There's Aaron Crocker goes by. You know, Aaron Crocker right now has moved up in the top 15. We saw, here's what happened after. There's a, right there, the 20 of Marcus Ambrose and the 13 of Kerry Earnhardt make a little contact right there. Kerry keeps his truck out of the outside wall. NASCAR throws the caution flag, and we've got a little bit over 20 laps to go to decide it.
So our ninth caution has come out. John,
watch him going down in turn 1, Bill.
Terry Cook's on board right here. There's the 75 of Eric Almirola. He sees this 22 sideways. Terry runs in the back of Eric after Eric backed off. He was crashed, and then he gets out. He gets going without much ado.
Did you hear Spotter? Up, 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 down, 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 up, up, up.
Power stroke diesel Ford.
That was the 40 of Shane Huffman not going up to speed on the racetrack and still bumping and banging all over the racetrack. The 20 and 21 are actually teammates, and we've seen them bumping and banging. Caution coming out again. It's the 40 of Shane Huffman. Saw him having troubles.
Had a left rear flat. That's because they were all running into each other, like I said a minute ago. You get back around 10.
Tries to control that truck. Unfortunately, there goes the rubber casing off the tire, and he keeps it out of the wall. Casey Kingsland in the Hooters truck does a nice job of getting around him on the outside. Johnny's going to have one more restart that he's going to stay clean on.
He will not have any of the lap down trucks on the inside as we're in the 2006 championship. Johnny Benson trying to do all he can to stay in contention. The white flag comes out, under a mile to go for Johnny Benson.
Watch this battle get down into number 1 for 5th. Look at Kyle Busch on the outside.
5 trucks fighting for that 5th spot, Phil.
Matt Crafton is going to emerge with it right now, but meanwhile, less than a half lap to go.
Out in front, working his way through 3 and 4, Johnny Benson will win at Phoenix. He is going to come home, see the checkered flag, and win the Casino Arizona 150. Battles behind him as they go across the start-finish line. Kyle Busch have a tight issue right now with this truck?
Yeah, if your truck's a little tight moving up, you know, the circle's bigger.
Whoa.
This is ugly.
Oh, look out. Skinner's going around.
This is ugly.
On the inside, Skinner goes around, gets into the wall on the inside. The caution comes out once again, and a lot of damage to that number 5.
Daryl, how many times do we talk about that truck on the inside?
I think they took the wicker bill off the rear spoiler or something, and ever since then, these trucks, they absolutely cannot run side by side.
And Ludeman even got sideways there and did an excellent job of holding on to that one.
Yeah, a lot of damage to Mike Skinner right there.
All he wanted to do was finish 10th.
Running together in front of the field. And Mike Skinner, terminal damage to the number 5. We'll be back with more Homestead.
And you got to get up in front of the guy right here, kind of do a slide job on him. Oh, we got trouble off turn 4.
Problems with the 12 of Michael Waltrip. He gets spun around. Riding on board with him as we see the trucks come back behind him. Riding around in turn 4.
There he is up against the wall. There's Mike Wallace, the 15 truck. He's going to make a little bit of contact right there. Here comes Chase Miller. He's going to do his best to avoid Michael. It looks like he does. He may have made contact with the outside wall. There's another view right here. Mikey's right up against the wall and just loses the back end.
Yep. Quite a bit of contact, actually. Back end just comes out. I'm telling you, Mike Wallace did a heck of a job sliding through there.
Absolutely.
Chase Miller didn't do too bad a job of squeezing by on the outside.
Sure did.
Right along with the number 12. Pretty mad at the throttle.
Well, he was in the throttle and the thing got loose. He tried to catch the back end, couldn't quite do it.
Hold it if you can, hold it if you can.
That's one danger about running right up against the wall. Number 1, he's got his right sides right up.
Battle for position. Oh, there goes Bill Lester. He goes sideways down the front stretch into the grass, scraping off the wall. As they go across the start-finish line, the caution will come out once again. The 4th caution of the night.
Same situation, same old song.
Different verse.
Got a big gap between him right now, but David's going to have to move to the inside to get by that 50 truck. When he did, that closed up that gap, and the air came off the rear spoiler of the 22.
Around he went. Did a good job of not pounding that inside wall.
Made the slight bit of contact, as you can see right there. You see the scrape on the left side, but it sure could have been a whole lot worse. We saw the damage that Mike Skinner had from spinning out coming off of turn number 4.
And the biggest difference there is Skinner.
From on the racetrack, just behind the 6, it's Chase Miller getting spun around. Oh, and back up. It's Johnny Benson. He gets into our second place in points contender, and that takes the left rear tire down, damage to the left side, and the bad luck continues for Johnny Benson.
That's going to be enough right there. That's Rick Wren telling his guys what to get ready to do.
We take one more look. This is Chase Miller getting turned around. As he goes down off of the racetrack, he makes his way back up on it.
Johnny came by at a pretty good rate of speed. That was the 46 of Nemechek. Johnny was actually battling for the second position right there and gets taken out like this. What a horrible break for JB.
Yeah, you see him on the bottom there. Not sure. Spotter must have thought that the Ford truck was going to go back up the racetrack and probably maybe told him to stay low, because he sure didn't try to move up.
Ray's on lap.
A lot of damage to the left.
Because you can go in there and beat around on him a little bit.
You know, as sensitive as these trucks are now aero-wise, you know, we used to see that so
problems with Johnny Benson. Looks as though he cut the left front. Got up into another truck.
Outside, another one coming inside, outside.
I bet that was where the most of the damage was, as you can see on his left front there now.
Yeah.
Phil, as he went in that corner, he had to get on the brakes to stay off of the 33 and the 75. When he got on the brakes, the fender came down and cut his tire.
JB continuing to have problems. He's on pit road. They're going to change the tire, probably do a little fender work.
What a crew chief will do for you. Look what Rick Wren did for Johnny Benson. And you get the right chemistry, get the right crew chief with the driver, you can do what Brendan did tonight. You can go out there and have a good night.
The final lap for Mark Martin in that Scott's Ford number 6, making his way down the backstretch.
And a final lap in a Roush truck for Mark Martin.
And the final lap of 2006.
Putting the bookend on the season. Mark Martin won in Daytona, and now as he comes out of turn number 4, he will win the final race of the season. The Ford 200 goes to Mark Martin.
And Todd is just creeping out of turn 4. He said, man, I just got to make it a little